dot of the interconnection of the big World Wide Web, right? Just like they do on here. They go to one site of the World Wide Web, focus in on it, and then talk about it for the rest of their life. I'm go, bro, there's a whole web here of interconnected aspects of the all, and you all want to keep tunnel visioning on one because either you can't conceive of the vastness or it's too scary to conceive of, so you want to pigeonhole it for your understanding, which is limited.
Yeah, it's natural for us to do that, though. It really is. Because the human mind gets overwhelmed. And so this world is, I don't know. Sounds like secrets are being shared from the militaries or some shit, right? Paul, these fucking people, man.
Well, there's a reason why their masters all went to study in people who live like me, because apparently I have something they don't have, and they desperately want to know what it is. You know, surprise, surprise. It's the one thing they've been ignoring inside of themselves all along. That's all around them, what folks might call God. So they're like so fascinated. What is this being? Let's put it on drugs. Let's listen to it, write stuff down, try to figure out what a human being is. Yeah, you wouldn't know it even if it was right in front of you because you aren't it. Like the same way they're fascinated with me, I'm fascinated with them for the completely opposite reason. I'm like, wow, you're completely unhuman, inhuman, and don't even understand anything about this experience and then think that I'm the freak show. Fascinating. We could play this game. One of us might be wrong. I'm okay with being wrong, too, by the way. These folks never are okay with being wrong, it seems. Even when they know they're wrong, they go, that wasn't wrong. We must have misspoke. I go, oh, constantly misspeaking, misremembering. Like, it's not that you're just constantly wrong pretty much everywhere in your life for some reason or another and can't apprehend it. No. You know, maybe it was just you didn't say it quite the right way so I could understand it. Yeah, try to bullshit me again. We'll see if we can have a third go around. I do this with everyone everywhere I go. Constantly. Give me the second and third round of bullshit. Maybe you can explain it to me in a way that'll make sense this time. Right? Courts, lawyers, doctors. You know, a doctor tells me one time plants and herbs. Oh, there's no validity to that. That's what was his exact words? That's you know, I don't remember exact word. Along the lines of that's shamanic nonsense, right? That's cultural shamanic nonsense. I said, okay, I'm going to immediately stop listening to you because everything you're pushing here is a corruption and a derivation of a natural element. All your pills and powders are all you took something from nature, did a remix like Dr. Dre, called it your own, and now you're profiting off of it. So I'm not going to listen to you. I don't care if you did 1,000 years in this system. You are of the system and its consciousness. Therefore, you can't get out of your own way. You don't even know the origin of what you're selling, right? Just like a common drug dealer, thug scum, you know, who thinks they're the man, thinks they've been doing something and getting to something. You don't even know where that shit you're selling came from and what's in it. It's going to kill half the block, maybe your own auntie one day. So, you know, discernment is a motherfucker, right? Whether you have it or not. If you don't have it, you're fucked. If you got it, they're going to try to fuck you or stay the fuck away from you, right? So what an exciting game to play.
Paul, I want to push that a little beyond just the they. I think God tests our discernment, brings in people that are just dense and dumb to test us. And so we get to see, I don't know, we're all just...
You were reading my mind, Jack. I've been thinking that for a long time, and now I just feel like I'm making progress every day, little by little. Feels good.
There's a lot of confused people in this world, Paul.
Right.
And I actually think that's kind of the joke from God. God's just watching us. God knows, right? And watching all these confused beings, right, running around, acting like they're God. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Hey,
the
man.
ego is an interesting game that everyone's playing.
Yes, it is.
But at some point, the music stops and you got to find a chair, right? So
Yeah.
good luck with
Well,
that.
Well, Jack's chair's at the UN. Let's be real.
Hey, I told Jack, just like I told everybody else, he is capable of getting to the UN. He's capable of speaking in front of all those people, and he's going to do it by the end of the year.
Moose, are you genuinely again trying to like give Talcott some kind of feedback? Or are you doing the thing you do where you pad his ego so you can come back around and shit on him maybe 45 minutes or an hour from now?
He's
No,
being
we're
a
not doing that today.
genuine
We moved
jackass.
on
Oh, we're not
yesterday.
okay. So we're not. Well, that's what
Genuine
we okay. So you
jackass.
admitted that's what you usually do, but we're not going to all of a sudden do it today. So now we're meant to think that suddenly, for no reason at all, there's been a just catastrophic change in your beingness, and
Were
I'm
you
not willing
not
to
there
buy that.
yesterday? We
Yeah, I'm
we
not
had a
willing to
breakthrough
believe that.
yesterday.
No, I kind of hear something in your voice. It sounds not the most genuine.
That's not true.
Sounds like, yeah, no, it sounds like you're kind of doing a presentment, like you're acting a little bit.
Mm.
You're a good actor, Moose, to some people sometimes.
Genuine jackass.
Me, right?
Genuine jackass. That's what he is. Genuine jackass.
And I had to put RCA in timeout this morning because he was at war with everyone and himself, acting like a fool.
Whoa, whoa,
Right? I'm
whoa,
playing
whoa,
the
whoa,
Dow.
sir.
No,
Whoa,
no,
sir.
you're doing it now. You're
Simping
He's
ain't easy.
disrespecting
Simping
again.
ain't
Now
easy.
he's talking
Simping
over
ain't
me
easy.
this way. He's over
Simping
here
ain't
now.
easy.
Here. Yeah, you're going right in the back. You keep it up, you're going right in the back today. I'm not playing it today.
Simping ain't easy. Simping
Oh, I
ain't
was
easy.
simping now, right? It wasn't
Simping
that
ain't
you were
easy.
right. Okay, right in the back. Okay, a couple minutes in the back
Why?
will do you good. All right, a little bit of rest back there.
See, there's
Hey.
Moose,
Yeah,
and then
okay,
there's
a
retarded.
little bit of back therapy for you too. You can hang out with him back there, and you can compare stories of what happened. A couple minutes back there for you two to talk it out, figure out what's going on in the room. So I told you you're at war. First of all, I didn't tell you anything. You couldn't read the room again. I was playing the Dow. I was sitting there. I didn't move for an hour and a half. I looked straight ahead and listened. I was present and aware, and you were all doing what you always do, cycling in confusion down there, embarrassing yourselves and each other, right? Playing childish games. And I was trying to set a tone. I was trying to set a tone without controlling. 5 minutes in the chamber because you're at war with yourself and everyone else, and you're starting up all the other children. Much like if I was running a course or a class, the special ed bus pulls up, you roll off, right? There's a funny smell on you. We don't know if it came from you or the parents. You roll in and you want to start cracking jokes, throwing papers, whispering, and now the whole energy is corrupted, right? And we all know why, because you have a problem with yourself and at your home. But we can't address that because someone might say the teacher's being abusive. Right. So I try to love you and care for you because I know you don't have a mommy and daddy at home. And I know that funny smell is to try to kill the pain. Okay. Because I was that being at one point. Right. But you can't come into the classroom and be the source of attention and confusion and chaos unless you want to be called on it. It's a fun game. Right. I used to love it. I'd come in and purposely cause chaos because I want to be called on it. I want the interaction. Right. I know why I'm here causing chaos because yous are all causing chaos. So in the face of causing chaos by misleading and miseducating, I will be a disruptor. That's not going on here. So you have no business disrupting. Okay. So when I'm creating an energy in a space that is reverent and spiritual, separate from the constant clown show and a sane asylum, you might want to read the room and conform a little bit for yourself, not for me, for yourself. And if not, maybe just don't show up. Right. Because, you know, if I ever decide to create a space on the land, there might be the stage show to do circus acts. There might be a sanitarium for folks who need a little remedial care. And then there might be like an orgy room, as they say, a lovemaking area. And there might be a spiritual temple. Right. And each one has its own purpose and function. And if you can't figure out not to masturbate at the picnic area, then we might have a problem, unless we've all agreed on that. Right. But if you can't figure out that the group sex or whatever is to be done in the orgy area, as they like to say, they keep writing these narratives. Right. If you can't figure out that when I'm doing the Tao, right, in the spiritual temple, to not pull your dick out and start masturbating, that's going to be a problem for all of us. All right. Maybe it's not a problem. Maybe it's the solution, because then I know you don't need to be there right now. So it's really not much of a problem for me. More of a problem for you, because who's going to hire somebody who pulls their dick out and masturbates when we're doing spiritual service? Well, the Catholic Church will hire you. Well, no, actually, no, because you have to do that behind closed doors. You still can't even do that out in service, right? So you even have to, as the Catholic Church priest, you have to do that with children behind the scenes and then lie about it. Okay, so, I get it. Being adulting is hard. That's the new phrase. Adulting is hard. Folks just can't figure out the proper time and place and energy and how to interject and be a part of the conversation and mix in and bring value, right? They just do all the wrong things at all the wrong times. And they say, Paul, he's trying to control us. He's trying to behaviorally modify us for the cult. No, I'm trying to teach you something. It's common fucking sense. Everyone else is quiet down there. There's 80 folks. Nobody's typing. He has to start picking fights with everyone. Then I'm simping because he's picking fights with all women, coincidentally. So another person who just came out of a toxic relationship, who's bitter and angry at women in general, who wants to project it on women here when we're all trying to do service and be present and aware and work on ourselves and completion within ourselves. That's a problem.
Hey, Paul, I got to say, you said adulting.
For you, I got solutions. Go ahead, sir.
Matter of fact,
I read about a final solution. So, I won't get into that. I won't get into that because that's a whole other idea that some folks have come up with, right? They're working on it. Our best people are working on it for you to help you out. Go ahead, Mr. Tribe.
Yeah, you just said adulting. I thought that's a great term because I look at most people as being adulterated and they need adulting. Interesting distinction. I got to think of that a little bit more, but I just want to point that out before I forget it. I yield.
Right. Adulterated or adulterous. Constantly coveting what other people have or what they represent or trying to destroy it. All the images that they have, they projected onto other people like some cave wall. They're going to project an image onto it, then tear it down to justify their existence. Wow, what a fun game.
I'm raising my hand.
Are you? I can't see you raising your hand. You telling me you're raising your hand is almost worse than just talking.
Well,
now you're telling me about you doing something I can't see. How does that make sense?
I'm raising my hand, sir. I'm raising my hand, sir. Please.
Okay, watch this. You go right to the back because I'm now turned away at the board writing something and talking, and you're going like this. I'm raising my hand, teacher. I'm raising my hand. I go, the purpose of raising your hand is I don't want to hear you. I want to choose to call on you or not to, in which case you're doing a hand exercise now, seeing how long you can keep it up. So I don't need you to yell out what you're physically doing. You could show me that, which gives me the ability to choose, which I'm big on. I'm big on ability to choose, except when it comes to cutting off children's genitals and killing children. Not so big on the ability to choose in most of those areas, oddly enough. So this is weird how I could move and change depending on the issue. I know it's crazy. Usually you have to just Republican, Democrat, left brain, right brain, mind and heart, just constantly push, pull, and division at war with yourself and others. I got it. I see all of you. I'm not saying that like Ian. I see through everybody. It's disgusting. No, everything he says, I'm living. They're always telling my story, never theirs. Always telling my story, and quite frankly, not as good as I could tell it. Right? I don't think they have all the experience and details down. So I see you guys. You're all disgusting. It's sickening. It's pathetic. We're ascending. I'm ready to drop my body any moment. Okay? I'm ready to shed this fucking body.
Breathe, Jack. Jack, breathe.
Jack loves it. He can't get enough of the sickness. He's so down with the sickness.
He could stop breathing, Paul. You gotta be careful.
Remember to breathe, Jack.
Paul
much like these sexual practices that will be going on the land. But when we get into this kind of comedy and entertainment, you got to remember to breathe.
Breathe.
Yeah, you don't want to go out like. All right, here we have Banderas, Antonio Banderas. Go ahead, sir.
I think Brian O'Shea is going to be the official IKEA video guy. I can just see him in those demonstration videos for IKEA furniture, can't you?
Sam, Tribe. All right, I just have one request. If Polly, please, if you may, if you could, if you find it in your heart,
Please don't
any
beg me. You're embarrassing me and yourself. It's
only please,
unbecoming. It's unbecoming
only
of you to go from
you can do
belligerent to
this.
begging all in one moment.
Only you
Equally
and
unbecoming. Please.
only you and this fat greaseball can do it. Okay, Lou, can you please just get your filthy, fat, ugly, fat slave? Like
Yeah, now
fucking
you
do
see
something
how
with the picture.
angry he is
I
today.
just don't want to see you.
Yeah,
You
it's like
fat
you're trying to
slob.
pick a fight with everybody. It's
Can you
me, it's
just
him,
can you
it's
just
the
turn off your
women in
camera?
chat. Oh, now we
Can
have a
you just
victim
turn off your
advocate.
camera? Just turn off
Victim
your camera.
advocate is here. Perfect timing.
Just turn off your camera,
Okay.
Lou. Lou, if you could just turn off your fucking camera,
No,
I
I
would
think, sir,
appreciate
I
it.
think
Thank
you
you.
need an advocate. You're a victim of your own confusion, as we've seen many times before. And this man knows a little something about
Dude,
that.
that's
You fat
disgusting.
slob.
That
You
is
fat
He's learned
disgusting.
some
slob.
things.
Look what
Filthy,
you've done.
fat
So
fucking pig.
no, please allow the advocate, if you will, to reveal to you how you're a victim of your own confusion.
Child abuser.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to let you go soon.
Jack, breathe. Don't forget,
So,
please,
long
Jack.
walk off a short pier, right?
Fuck you, Lou. I can't stand your ass.
All right, let's get back to it. Let's get back to the
Paul,
slave.
before you
Yeah,
do,
yes,
please.
yeah.
You were saying something about the musical chairs a long time ago, and the music's about to end. And then the shit show and the clowns rise up.
Right. I played the music, and all of a sudden the clowns rolled in. You
Well,
know,
no,
I was juggling on the back of an elephant. I'm the clown and the elephant. You know,
Paul,
depending on perspective.
no, you were saying something about the connection of where my mind took your words is this is the time. This is the end of the fucking game. The song is about to end. People need to fucking get their shit together because well, it's time. But then the clown show starts up, Paul.
Yeah,
And
it's fine. It's fine. Like again, I'm self-centered,
I know.
right?
I know.
According to the others, I'm centered in self from my perspective. So they'll see selfishness. Great. You might want to be a little more selfish in your recovery, like they tell you in NA. So you better be selfish with your recovery, like your life and your position and your progress should really fucking matter to you more than like anything else. So, I'm just going to keep getting more equipment and preparing to be self-sufficient and maybe do a broadcast like maybe the revolution, as they say, right? Their complete circling. I won't be a part of it as much as possible, but it might be televised or broadcast, at least my commentary, right? If they could keep the internet 2.0 going with their 7G, I'm sure by that point, next 5 years we'll have 7G where we'll be somehow inserted into this thing, even whether we want it or not. We'll just be reading your body with some scan and then have you in there. I'll be like, okay, here we are. We're on the metaverse. Didn't even want it, like completely. I'm a holographic being now in the room with you. I don't know how it works, right? But I'm just going to keep focusing on doing what I know how to do, speaking what I understand for me, applying it in my life. Again, my life is extremely boring in some ways and also very exciting and inspiring. There's a lot of mundane activity, living the same day pretty much over and over again with little bit of exciting crescendo here and there, right? Usually slaves or wannabe slave masters who are still slaves trying to play games with me, my property and rights, just like many others. So, that's fine. Again, and at some point, I perceive that I'll be doing a broadcast somewhere with some people who folks will think will be important to me because it's important to them. I won't care much other than what it will mean for me in my life, that I'm just more and more successful, that I don't let the people, places, and things and environment and rooms I'm in define me. I define those rooms one way or the other because they're going to say, why are you in the room with him? Right? They're going to ask me the same question. Why are you in a room with them? But it's going to be clear, right? What I'm going to show is going to be more important than what I could tell. Most of what people tell is bullshit anyway, right? Then they're going to go to asking them, why are you in the room with the white gorilla? See, I'm a problem for them. They're not a problem for me. In a way, they're just a gateway to a solution, right? I use them. They don't use me. And we're all going to be clear on that, right? If you, long as you are okay with me using you and you not using me, celebrities, Hollywood, whoever, that's how it's going to go. And at some point, I get it. You're going to whack me out and sprinkle some fentanyl on me and put me in a bathtub like Whitney and tell everybody that's how it's supposed to go. Great. And folks who know will know. So I'm down for the ride. I'm down for the game. I like healthy competition, and I like to gamble and mix it up. You know, so it all comes together in a certain set of experiences. I also like watching the change in people, right? I used to be very selfish in a way where there was no benefit for anyone else. Now I'm selfish in a way where it benefits others. I care so much about my process and growth that when I give that away and see change in others, I notice I'm actually a good person on some level because I like seeing people change and get better. I thought that I had to make other people lose to win at one point, right? Now I understand, no, it's about healthy competition. It's about knowing yourself and not being in a lack state. If you're in an abundant state and you're thriving, helping other people win doesn't help you lose. So, you know, again, there's a fine line with a lot of this stuff I talk. They'll listen to me talk and go, you said that, but then did this. It seems hypocritical, but there's a middle ground with a lot of this, right? A lot of it is conditional on the experience, right? Like what someone puts out, oftentimes I will adjust the presentment to give back a little bit of a different way. I'll play the Bruce Lee video. He describes it probably better than I could. Someone expands, I contract. Someone contracts, I expand. You know, so there's a dance, there's a game going on. I'm usually aware of this.
Paul, I was
Go ahead.
I was in and out of the broadcast yesterday because I was actually working all day and all night yesterday. But you know, I always like to take breaks to check out what's going on here in the rebroadcast, and I pick up, you know, the little tidbits I pick up. I'm just surprised how people aren't picking these things up and applying them day to day. So one of the things you talked about was celebrity, in that you don't mind the
first. Illuma Tommy's here via Jack's stream. Where do you project Illuma Tommy being? And I'm asking all the loving, kind, because I'm not that, of course. All the loving, kind people who like to focus on all the potential and good qualities and ignore the negative. Where do you think Tommy's going to be? 3 months, 3 years, 5 years, if he keeps doing what he's been doing for the last 5 fucking months here or more, here every day, shitting on me, but still has to be here, saying my voice is horrible, I'm a false prophet, I'm this, I'm that. Where does it all get him? Forget about, like, let's say he gets his way with all the others. I wind up poor and broke. I eat all my words. I look like a real douche. Back to picking up garbage with a vest that's 2 sizes too small because they don't make 5X in reflective vests. They don't. Okay. And they're not supposed to. Because if you're out working day after day, you're not supposed to be morbidly obese. But again, I tend to destroy all preconceptions in all arenas. So a lot of times I may outwork all the little skinny folks because I just fucking care that day. Other day I might not. You know, maybe I wasn't meant to be there at that time and I didn't want to accept that. So other people had to suffer for my selfishness and laziness. What else is new? Right? I try to get that all right now. I'm trying to get that all right to some kind of formula that works for me and everyone else. But yeah, I just want to know from Tommy and everyone else where he's going if he keeps living like this, because there's no point in you destroying me, even if you could get it done. I don't think you can. I think bigger and better have tried. They can't get it done. I definitely don't think you can get it done. So if you can get it done, how do you benefit other than just living off pure hate and resentment, vengeful retribution? Right? It's almost better to just not focus on me and try to control yourself and not be addicted to me in this platform and just go your own way. Create your own broadcast. Do restream to me and shit on me to 5 people. I even like that more than you wasting your time, energy, attention fucking with me when I'm just going to remix you like I'm doing now. Someone somewhere is going to like it. Go ahead, expert panel. He might be an advocate out there is what it is.
If he gets it done, Paul, then Mitchell's going to let him move into his van.
That's fine. If they can bond over my destruction and create some level of growth and inspiration and happiness, maybe it'll lead to something. Maybe they'll start a whole thing off of just going around destroying people they see as frauds. Like, if I can't affect them in any other way other than being, living, and speaking truth, which is the only way I could affect myself and anybody as I see it and live it.
They could
Everything
be
else, I can't
metaversal.
stop, and why would I try to? It might be the best teacher for me. If Mitchell and him could get together and destroy me, it might teach me something to bring me to the next level for my family one day. Right?
Metaversal hitmen. They can be metaversal hitmen. It's a new thing.
So
How could Tommy destroy you, though? That's my question.
I don't believe
he's not going to do it in the physical world. So this metaversal world is where he'll try to do it and try to have some to prove to himself he has value, and he's just not totally pathetic. And that's how he's going to show his values, by destroying someone in the metaverse, because he can't do it in the real world. It's pretty simple.
Right, and then like every
say,
step of the way, it's like when I destroy you in the metaverse based on my presentment alone versus yours, he's mad. When he says come to Denver and show up, and I tell him if I come there, first of all, I never would, because they'll put me in prison. They're watching me. You don't get it. I know they're watching me. I couldn't do that if I wanted to. I don't want to anyway, because I don't need to hurt you. If I did do that, or you came here, I said, well, I'm going to pop you. Oh, see, he's not tough enough to just roll around and fight me. If I rolled around and fought him and broke his jaw again, because I'm 3 times his size, and I know he's not trained, okay? I'm trained to a certain degree, right? Not as much. I'm not going to claim that I'm like everyone in jail. I'm a Golden Gloves boxer. I'm an expert. I have a certain amount of training in different areas, right? Let alone, again, I'm 3 times your size and you're not trained. Size doesn't matter if someone's trained. If you're not trained, it's going to be a problem for you. So let's just be real with ourselves and each other. I don't go to starting problems, trained or untrained, with people twice my size, 3 times my size, because it's just more to deal with and handle, right?
Well,
like, especially for the. So you just can't, because again, all it just really comes back to is whatever he wants to generate to happen. Once it would happen, he would only then call the police on me and have me put in prison. You think I'm supposed to believe he's going to have me show up? I'm going to break his jaw. He's going to have a whole bunch of hospital bills and a hurt pride and ego, and he's not going to go to try to exacting revenge in whatever way he can at that point, which we all know what it'll be. So I don't even entertain it, because I've dealt with it before. I have people come to my neighborhood to do harm to us, me and a group of people, and we chased them the fuck out of town. Took all their shit off them, the whole deal. I did very little in that situation because it wasn't even necessary. Another person who was like me, and even more, like just angry, like because I'll just stand. Like, you want to play games and do this? I'm in if the people are in at that time. Now I go my own way. I'm not going to fight these people. I'm not going to show up to prove nothing to myself or anybody. I don't care about the group. You all want to go deal with them, go do it. Because what winds up happening? They get beat up. They get hurt. The rest of them get chased off, right? One of them gets thrown here in this one of them got thrown in a lake, car keys thrown in the lake. Whole bunch of consequences, right? So what's the upshot? They wind up looking stupid and weak like a bunch of punk-ass bitches, getting hurt, having bills, can't drive home, right? And then go to sitting in the back of a cop car pointing people out and then describing what everybody did. People who got on the internet, said, we're coming to your town to fuck you up, didn't know who and what we were, anything. I would never do that. Why someone else would do that, I have no idea. Then when they get everything bad happen to them that everyone should be expecting might happen, they go to using the system against you. So there's no point in even dealing with them, because they already show they're a stalker hater. They're not really about nothing. If they were about something, they wouldn't be stalking and hating. They'd just be about it.
Well, bottom line's this. I've seen video presentments of us and policy enforcers and such, with you, Paul, with me, with Mitch, with Brian O'Shea. I haven't seen anything with Tommy. Has he actually have video evidence how his presentment is in the real world with other people?
The ice cream shop with me, running his mouth, cursing at me. You didn't even see what he did before that. He went to go get up in my face. I had to back away and go out into the street to tell him don't walk toward me. Then he kept running his mouth. Right. And he doesn't understand the guy that was with me and how I am. If you put us in that position, I already look at you and know where it's going to go. I don't judge a book by its cover, but certain things about a person, I could see it in their eyes. You don't want it, bro. He didn't even pipe up till his girlfriend told him to, because his girlfriend piped up before him. I already know a punk ass bitch when your woman pipes up before you and starts rattling at me and disrespecting me. And then she turns to you and says, are you going to do something? Now you're going to try to act like the man, right? You get your fucking ass beat. You're going to get your ass poked up and popped in the middle of Denver for some bullshit. And I don't want it. I don't want to have it done to me, and I don't want to be part of doing it. And I don't want to roll around either, right? So mind your fucking manners. Keep your fucking mouth in check. Don't be walking toward people and getting in people's space unless you're ready to die. That's how I live. I don't care how little and tiny and whatever. You could be like Talcott's presentment, the most loving and like 3 feet tall. I'm going to say, boy, you're a loving and nice person. We have no problems. Or I just look at you and go, okay, you're your own, whatever little even judgments I might have. I just move on with my day. They go to like talking shit and creating problems and acting like there's somebody who lives like this and looks like this. Thank you, sir. If we're gonna power wash the driveway, could we mute or wait after the broadcast? Thank you. Minkya, huh, Lou? This guy's a fucking animale. Usually that's your position. That's what you do.
Issues with audio here at StreamYard. Sorry about that.
Man, just step away from the audio. Just step away from all the equipment.
It just wigged out on me.
Tribe, can I just say I really like it when you yield. I prefer that part.
I prefer the part where you don't come on, show your face on panel, Lou. That's my favorite part. When you leave, when you don't come on, and when you leave, those are my 2 favorite parts with you.
Touche, my friend. Touche.
On that note, I want to just to rehash something you said yesterday too, Paul. I picked up along the way of the broadcast, and it bridges to what you just said here about calculated risks. You don't judge a person by their cover, but you have to make calculated risks at every move in life. And that discernment, that wisdom comes from experience, sharing experiences with valid experiences, drawing lines of discernment that are valid in reality and functionally, purposeful. That's where it comes down to calculated risks. People don't want to take the effort of calculations. They just want to take advice instead. And then that takes them down the wrong road.
It's like all these people like the Chem fellow, right? They try to play this game with me. Like, I don't know myself and know them. Oh, I love to fight. Okay, either A, you're lying and playing ego games, or B, you're a crazy person. Something really wrong with you. Because people I know, even people who thought they lived like that, who love to like harm people, at some point it changes and they go to crying every day about what they did. Or somebody hurts them and their family and then they're sorry they ever lived like that. So when I hear that, I go, you're either really sick and fucked up or you just haven't got your comeuppance yet. You ain't really living like that. Motherfuckers who really love that shit and live for that shit, oh, they get something happen to them. And then they go, you know what? I'm going to go do a documentary and tell all the children how to not live like a piece of shit lowlife because I'm sorry I was ever a part of this. You ain't that. I know you ain't that, right? I know you ain't somebody who you pop off at the mouth and then get stabbed like 20 times and then lay there going, oh, man, I love bleeding out and feeling like my warmth leave my body and get cold and stiff, right? I just love that shit. No, you don't. You punk ass bitch. You think I don't know you and know myself? I felt I felt death in my body. I felt the heat leave. I faced it. I could do it again, but I'll tell you, I don't love that shit, and you're not supposed to. You're a death worshiper if you love that shit. So you're either demonic or you're crazy, which case I want nothing to do with you. And like I told him, you come anywhere near me, I'm going to put you down like a rabid animal. And I'm not going to be happy about it, but I'm not going to probably lose sleep either. Because, people who live that way and talk that way and act like they're really about it over a metaverse and then don't correct themselves, like I try to have these conversations here to get really clear with ourselves and each other what I'm about and what I think we should be about, they're lying to themselves and each other. And they're going to have a situation and a circumstance where they're going to learn the hard way, like we all do. It's called growing up and maturing. It's called being real with yourself and others. It's called being careful. When you really care about the truth and what's right, you don't go to playing with your and other people's lives.
Are we talking about Tommy? Is he still back there?
We're talking about all of the bad faith infidels who are worldly and act like they're tough guys, but 9 out of 10 times really don't want it the same way I tell you I don't want it. I don't want to hurt somebody and I don't want to be hurt. That's common fucking sense to a good person.
Can I share
Now, I'm also willing to hurt you if that's what you need.
Hey,
A
Paul.
good man is very dangerous to evil scum, right? I spend my whole life preparing for a day where I might have to put down evil scum and not like it, but it need to be done. So that's the way it seems it needs to be.
Hey, Paul, this thought just came in. Shit, you just said it. It was off of what you just said, and now I forgot. Had something to do with committing. Commit yourself not to do evil, to not do evil. Commit yourself to not do evil. Then commit yourself to do good. Now, evil and good are going to depend on the moment. So, but as long as you've got those commitments within yourself, I will not do evil, I will do good.
Well, Jack, we're all fallible to some extent, and we all make mistakes. The biggest problem is not doing evil. It's when people have that love of evil, doing evil. Yes. They get a love of that. That's the problem. We all make mistakes. We should be able to acknowledge our mistakes and correct them. But when people fall in love with that pattern of harming others and hurting and injuring, then that's the problem, that love of evil. That's demonic.
Well, there's a part of every one of us that naturally is like an animal, right? Mm-hmm. And we forget about that till something happens, and then we get reminded. This dude spit at me. I told you one time I felt the littlest piece of it hit me. Mm-hmm. That's like the worst thing you could do to me. For some slave to put their liquid on me, and then just the littlest drop for what the guy that was driving did. I was just in the pad. I did do nothing. So when I don't do wrong, and then people do shit like that to me, it activates that thing. Right. And I'm like, you don't even, because you're riding around with a woman acting like this, you shouldn't even exist, is what the animal body says. You're a threat to yourself, me, that woman, this whole tribe, this community, this race. So, yeah, I started thinking, went to go reach for the gun, right? Because my buddy had a gun there, right? I went to go reach for it. And then I had the thought, I'm going to go to prison. And he already he said, you ain't going to do none of that. Right? Because I was going to put a gun in his face and say, motherfucker, what makes you think you could ride around on the streets of a city and spit on people and have no consequences? I'm fascinated by people like you, right? But you know what? My problem is I'm not the one that's going to teach anybody a lesson. I'm not that tough. I'm not that bad. I don't need to be involved in that. I don't need to go do years in prison for putting a gun in someone's face to prove a point. Right? Because the moral of the story is when I got out and looked him in the face and told him who and what he was scared to death already scared to death. Oh, he did something like a child and thought there would be no consequences. Well, I chased him down. I said, you're going to go catch up to him now, right? Because he pulled off. I said, you're going to go get up to him now, right? Like, because now I'm in that mode. I'm going to have an interaction with this motherfucker because I can't believe a grown man would ride around and spit on another man who had nothing to do with anything. I wouldn't do that unless I was ready to die that day. Maybe that's my pride and ego and toxic masculinity. I don't know. I wouldn't spit on anybody ever for really any reason.
Hey, to kind of jump in with what Tribe was saying, and I think what you were saying with here the evil and some of the characters. I did spit back
in his face, Jack Talcott. I did, spit a pretty large amount of phlegm into his face, and it went on to the woman too. And you know what? On some level, you want to spit on me, I guess, sort of, I responded in kind, right? And escalate, but maybe he and her learn something. Maybe she'll say to him next time, don't spit on people because you might spit on a white gorilla and then he's going to come like spit directly phlegm in your face and get all over her too, right? Because now so you were okay with that. She was okay with that. And now maybe you're not okay with that because I'm not okay with that, right? I don't want anybody's bodily fluids on me and you shouldn't want mine on yours. So I guess we all learned something.
In some cultures, believe it or not, that's actually a mode of communication, as sick as it is, Paul. Yeah.
I don't know what culture that is, but I'm never going to live there because I don't.
No, you won't.
Well, I don't even barely want people's bodily fluids on me who I trust and enjoy. Like even that is there's a fine line. I'm just like that, right? So, you know, again,
I couldn't believe what I saw.
That's a death sentence to me. I'm from that whatever culture that is. That's a death sentence. You spit in a man's face, we're going out front, and someone's dying, right?
Well, I mean, maybe it came to that because what they'll do is they'll just spit on the ground instead because they know that consequence. It's very strange. I won't go into any further details. I'll yield.
I just know that if I just how I live and I guess how I am, I wouldn't expect to spit on anyone and not immediately meet with some kind of consequence, either like
Right.
severely be harmed or killed, because it's the lowest form of disrespect and intrusion on somebody's beingness. I don't know what you got. That's biological terrorism. Some filthy slave infidel. I don't even want you touching me with your genetic line and the way you've been living. I don't even want the energy transfer. You're going to put your biological and energetic transfer onto me? Oh, no. That's a rape. That's a rape to me in some way. You violated my physical security and beingness with your biology. You know, what else do you?
So a different culture. When they brought the Olympics to China, what year was that? They had to put out policy code: no spitting on the sidewalks. No.
Yeah, well, those people are filthy animals. So why are you comparing me with Hing Hong Boshani and the rest of those reprobates, infidels, a whole culture of spiritually faithless people?
In the spirit of the metaversal world that we're all connected, I just figured that for the people that haven't had the experience of actually knowing and seeing this stuff, it gives you pause to see people behaving that way in this modern day and age. That you'd think that people culture, right? It has some perverted
advertising on Facebook, and I purposely added in Asia just to insult them, right? Really, on a general mass scale. Like there's individual people from all places that I know that we're all one self, but as a culture, like, yeah, I'm going to insult you because you all identify with it. You're not forced to identify with it. If you shit on USA, I'm not going to take up for it. So why are you going to take up like Hing Hong Boshani for an archetypal, hierarchical, godless system? It wants to take everybody's property rights and freedoms culturally. Right, as individual beings with their own reasonability, that's a different conversation. But only a slave would get involved in taken up as a group for a nation or a state that clearly has no redeemable values. Right, so it already fleshes itself out. But yeah, majority of them, I would suspect, are like the majority of people in the United States, worldly reprobate infidels, only worrying about the next thing, people, place, and thing that they're going to have an experience with. Their principles don't matter. Their lifestyle doesn't really matter. Mutually beneficial, co-creative, communal, conscious doesn't really matter. You know, may matter more in certain areas to some people there than other places. Of course, that's what I'm saying. But as a rule, as a whole, from what I'm seeing, unless it's cultural sort of manipulation where they're showing us an image and I haven't been there, so it's completely different, always a possibility. But you know, I'm seeing China be the next head of the New World Order and really proliferate this motherfucker, right? United States as a corporation can't do what China could do with the cultural, differences. Them people are ready for that one world order, one form, one worldly system. This place still has a few 100 million people who understand the foundational principles of law on some level, if it's not just looking at their Bible and making some determination that they don't answer to these corporate slaves. Go ahead.
Hey, Paul, to be honest, that's what you're talking about right there is exactly why I do feel a sense of urgency, because the East, China, and US, they've been using the same fucking tactics of mind programming and conditioning, but the CCP has had additional powers that the US citizens hadn't given away yet. But we are right now, the Western world, those who are not completely brainwashed. I think it's up to us to stand up for those who are really confused, those who have aligned themselves with the states elsewhere. There you go.
What was all that?
I don't know.
Talcott. You seen that?
I did, but that wasn't me.
I didn't do
Am I
none
still
of
there?
that. You just said there you go, like you just did all that.
No, I was just amazed. Well, I said there you go, meaning it looks like we're back to the tabs.
Yeah, but I didn't do none
yeah,
of that.
but
I didn't. They're just okay. So someone's doxing or playing games. Maybe Mitchell's crew finally got a hold of me.
Maybe
I don't
God
know
wants
what's
us to
going on,
see
but they're
this. I don't
taking
know.
over my systems. They've switched 4 screens, and here we are now. So I guess maybe the spirit wants me to get back to leaked intelligence, maybe, or Anonymous and his legion. I don't know.
Who the hell's in my crew?
Analysts say they're confident these
I'm gonna roll
documents
with it.
I'll hold the
also
thought, Jack.
The determination has been tentatively that this is a Russian-led effort.
It's attempting to target strategic intelligence sharing between the United States and Ukraine, and try to, create a bad faith relationship there.
Both the Justice and Defense Departments now trying to get answers.
It puts ourselves at risk, it puts our allies at risk, puts our sources.
Ali joins us from Washington. Ali, the big question here.
Did you just do that?
No, I didn't do that. Why is that happening now?
Holy shit. I don't know, dude.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Could U.S. intelligence have been compromised from within?
We've been compromised from within, Talcott?
Are digging for any evidence of a possible
broadcast
in the Defense Department or U.S. intelligence agencies. Jose.
Humans allowed themselves to be
Thanks for watching our
compromised
YouTube
within.
channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking.
Lester Holt. It's different from Screeching Halt, my correspondent. So, China, the evil China.
Hey, we wouldn't have Chinese enemies if we didn't have so many enemies in our government, right? The enemies
We
in our
wouldn't have
government.
Chinese enemies if Chinese people cease to exist either.
Well, or if we stop to exist, that's what they're thinking.
Hey, maybe like we lobby, we pay some people to do a zero child policy over there, and then they just cease to exist.
Zero child. That's what the U.S. agenda is. All these changes to the agriculture and shit.
Right.
I think that's the agenda.
We're switching
here.
positions. They're ready to
Yep.
thrive and proliferate under the tutelage of Shaitan and its New World Order, and we're on our way out, according to them, if we give them their way and destroy ourselves and each other. But they're moving the floor out from under us. That's what the fiat system is good for them, right? Because everyone's going to hold the paper and not convert it, and then they're going to devalue it, and then you'll have nothing.
Paul, it looks like that's exactly happening right now. These other nations are moving away from the US dollar for the petro exchange and the oil exchange.
They're going to do digital currency like Ukraine. Got to stand with Ukraine, right? But they said they want to do Bitcoin, and so does China and all the rest. So they're not going to do Bitcoin. They're going to start with that, if anything, or they're going to go right into them other 3 they got lined up. And that's going to be the new game, right? So cash will go away. The American dollar will go away. It will be deemed as worthless, as it's always been. Folks will experience a greater depression, and they will see an economic industrial revolution 2.0. This isn't difficult. The game moves on, right? The game doesn't change, just the names and the faces.
We're the new names and new faces, though, and they don't fucking know we're here. That's
right, and we can change ourselves in our life, and that will have some effect with some people at some places at some time to some degree, because nothing is absolute.
Amen.
Precision strikes against Taiwan on.
So China's doing simulations of striking Taiwan. It's not like I didn't say that months ago and years ago at this point, that we already see what they're gearing up for. They're going to fake an attack or do an attack and get us pulled into a World War III scenario. So they got Israel doing it now. They got them simulating about to do it. And we know when they simulated the towers going down, what happened after that, just a bunch of coincidences. So more board simulations preparing to do the inevitable, or just allow the inevitable to happen, so it would seem, so we could get to the inevitable World War III, so we could get the inevitable economic collapse so we could get the inevitable restructuring and reformation of nation states into a one world order. This isn't difficult to figure out.
Sunday, in a second day of drills around the island nation. That's according to its state broadcaster, CCTV, which said the military was maintaining, quote, an offensive posture around the island. Taiwan's defense ministry said its military had spotted dozens of Chinese aircraft and several ships near its territory by midday, and was especially monitoring the movement of Chinese missile forces. Tensions across the Taiwan Strait kicked up a notch on Saturday as China began 3 days of military exercises around the island. One fraught exchange appeared to be captured in a video released by Taiwan's Coast Guard late in the day, showing an officer warning a Chinese warship to leave or face eviction measures. Taiwan's defense forces also...
You can't do nothing, bro. Whether it's organic or set up, you can't do nothing. They're pulling their dick out on you now. That's what time it is. Just like I do with the slaves sometimes, I got to flex on them a little bit to remind them, you know, who everybody's fucking with on some level or what they're fucking with. So these people are right with the devil, the god of this world. They're flexing on you in a worldly way. We're going to pull the ship up with all the war weapons, and we're going to laugh at you when you tell us what we got to do and not do. You ain't going to tell us what we're going to do. We're signed on with Russia and Iran and Korea and all the rest of it because you've been creating the narrative of the axis of evil anyway. We're all too willing to step into that position and play that role, they say. So what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do to start another war that they are told they are supposed to want and need, right? Do you not remember the folks in Israel and everywhere else saying we need another war? All their highest level spiritual teachers, supposedly, the religious folks say we need another war. That's when the Messiah is going to show itself after the next world war. World War III. So isn't it funny the Masons have the same ideology? All the three main religions pretty much have the same ideology. The godless atheists have the same idea that we all need to go to this final tribulation and this world war so we could have peace forever by convincing everyone to adopt a worldly code and policy, governmental, credit, debt-based, digital, social system. Socialized, right? Is their buzzword social credit?
Well, Paul, it's really a debt system, and may I just say that it's not so much for the all these narratives here aren't quite what it's about. Wouldn't you just say I like the more pragmatic purpose of this whole thing is that the collapse of the dollar is imminent, and they need a war to prevent it. It's always happened. World War I, World War II. You could go on and on. It's always been about the collapse of a currency that they have to do a war.
Jack, are you restreaming me? I want you restreaming me. It's more content. Isn't it more content for you? I mean, you're here, and then I get access to your viewers. You got some other viewers over there who don't like me.
That is it. Thanks for the reminder. No,
right. I love having them here and getting triggered. Some of those cupcakes over there that they got attracted to you when you went on your love bombing spree, and I'm a cult leader and the Antichrist. So I love the game and the dynamic. I love the progress, presuming there is a progress without regression, which oftentimes there is relapse that leads to recovery, right? They'll tell you in NA, relapse sometimes is part of recovery in a bizarre way. So I don't take it personal. I enjoy the game and, open it up. Moose is restreaming me. Everyone restream this. Give me access to your audience. I give you all access to, I don't have my audience, right? It's not my and your audience. These are people who come and go and wish to stay or leave. They're free to stay, free to leave. They get value where they get it. However they get it. Some love to love and celebrate. Some love to hate and denigrate. I enjoy it all because it's all part of what is, seemingly always what has been and what will be on some level.
Are you saying I'm not detained, sir?
No, you're free to stay, free to go.
Okay.
Gotta give a shout out to the chat. Shit's lit.
Shout out to the chat. We are Awake TV. Shout outs to Sun Piz down in the chat. Shout outs to Jeebus. Shout outs to what's this guy doing?
Half hour.
Into a character. I do Talcott, I'll do Ian. You never know who I'm going to be. What's that, Mr. Trial?
No, I'm just saying he'll go half hour ratting out the names one after another. And Jack,
Right.
I got to say one thing really quick is that, the struggles you've been going through lately, I noticed in a few occasions here, your presentment has really just totally come to another level of magnitude. And I notice it only when I see that genuine authenticity come out of you. You'll stutter a little, not necessarily stutter, but I could see you contemplating before you speak, and your words actually have a deeper meaning. And then you start to change a little bit. You weren't going on about this UN rant forever, and you started to talk about the people, and you started bringing more comprehensive, concrete terms that made a lot more sense. And then all of a sudden, you got your cheerleader squad on there, and you picked up the easiest, low-hanging fruit to go on there and prop you up, and you slipped right back into your bad old patterns. And let me say this: you don't know who you're talking to on Paul's panel and who Paul interacts with here. Who's to say you won't be talking to the next president or presidential candidate if you can get your shit together? And at that, I yield.
All right, now let me transition what you just said. I think this is a good video for everyone, and Talcott might get some enjoyment out of this.
Kick me. Kick me.
Triggering, exposing triggers. I go, Talcott, kick me. Come on, let's go.
What was that?
He's like, what?
An explanation? We need emotional content. Try again. I said emotional content, not anger. Now try again with me. That's it. How did it feel to you? Let me think. Don't think. Feel. It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.
Mm.
Do you understand? Never take your eyes off your opponent, even when you bow. That's it.
Fucking love that.
It's gonna be my I'm gonna do Bruce Lee clips of teaching to realize that we need to be triggered so we can get into flow space and focus on the bigger picture and the meaning and the emotional content, Talcott, not anger.
Amen. It is about the feeling, but it's about the desire, the pull. I don't know, man.
It's the purpose, Jack. You're fulfilling a purpose, and you're using your abilities, your unique abilities to do it. And if you could align the two, then you'll be successful in what your endeavor, because it's a good endeavor in the end. I mean, look at this. We were just talking about war. In a way, you're right. We need to stop war, because why
Are
are
you
we
going to
doing war?
yield yet? Are you going to yield yet?
Shut up, Lou. Why would we want wars when we see the purpose of war is to prevent a collapse of a fiat currency? That's basically been established time and time again, yet we want to fool ourselves as it's a religious or a mythical narrative, when it's really very simple and pragmatic. But people are dissuaded from looking at the practical and the reality of things. So why are we having war is the first question you should answer before you say, how do we stop it? And if you could know the true functional relationship of that.
Tribe, you just answered the question you claim needs to be answered. The wars exist to prop up the bullshit fiat system. So people need to stop relying on and trusting and believing in the bullshit fiat system. And then the wars will end.
But then we have to have so I wouldn't even say a replacement. I would say the fiat system was a replacement for a very good system. It had been working for a very long time, thousands of years.
Who told you to believe that?
Well, because when you look at things, when you have your exertions to the environment, right? You grow land, crops on your land, or you do something like that. Whenever there's something you need to move, some of that extra effort and exertion you put in, that's going to be valuable to others, and you want to be able to exchange it and maybe expand your horizons, so you won't be bound to the land. Then we would do things. They would mine things like gold. This is gold from 1910, right? And back then, this was $5. So you have a coin like this, and it's $5 back then. Today, this is probably worth about $600 for one little coin. Okay,
Right?
that
Because
doesn't mean it
people told
buys
you
more
that's
than
what
then.
it's
It means
worth.
this back then, $600
It's
was
all
what
make
$5
believe.
would buy.
Tribe, it's all make believe. That used to be $5 and now it's 600 because that's what other
No,
people told you to
your
believe.
600 is fake. It's the same $5. It buys the same thing it bought 5,000 years ago or
Do you
2,000
see
years
what
ago.
you're doing? Tribe, you presented an argument of agriculture to jump to the conclusion that currency is healthy when you just said that wars have existed for the bullshit currency system.
For fiat.
Wars existed when the money was backed by the bullshit gold, when it was backed by the bullshit silver. There was still wars going on, Tribe.
But they weren't for that. There was always thievery, right? And there's always that kind of thing, but it wasn't a concerted effort to go steal the gold or such. It was always a bigger conquest of land for war, and the land was to generate more. The point is this, is that when people worked with a functional relation to what they actually do in the environment, is what gold was, because it was so rare. Gold and silver are rare. They have special electrical properties that are bound to something more than just you or me or a fiat system, right? That you have something that's actually not going to, it was here before you got here. It'll be here after you're gone. So you become Jack, hear me out, please.
I used to say the
You
same
become a
thing,
steward
and then I
of that
thought
money
about
to
what
be
I was
used.
saying.
But he's right, though, Jack. In a way, he's right. Money
Right.
is
In a
not
way,
now,
he's right. But
because
it's
money
an
today,
it's
money
an
to
excuse.
okay, whatever, it's an excuse or not an excuse, but money today, the only value it has is the paper. It's just the value we put onto it. There was a time when money had an intrinsic value or a
No.
practical value, like gold, silver, or
That's just what
whatever
they
other.
taught us. That is what they
Well,
taught us. It's
that
bullshit.
that may be true. That may be true. I don't know who's taught us what, but I know that when gold, silver, and all those types of currencies were around for many, many, many years, the value maintained an even level
Right,
place in
because it was
society.
controlled. It was
And
the value has always been
it controlled
manipulated and
itself.
controlled by people.
Yeah, but it controlled itself a lot because of
People.
its rarity. As
It
soon as
was
you
given
take,
a life of its own, and people
I
have been dying over
agree.
something that has no actual fucking life or value.
Well,
Gold has
I don't
no
agree that it.
value other than what people want to imagine.
Well, you wouldn't be talking to us right now if it wasn't for gold that's in your computer. So it does have practical value, right? The gold and the silver that's in your computer has practical value, and the value is unchanging, right?
And your argument is ignoring the counter, which is the other side, which is the other part of the truth. So I'm asking you to stop ignoring.
I agree that there's another
I'm
part of it
saying.
where we may put too much value on worldly things, whether it's gold, whether it's land, whether it's whatever, people,
anything.
even. Yeah, well, I didn't want to say people, but you said it, so that's okay. Right? We put value on those things, and to some degree, we need some sort of store of value to be able to trade more easily, because it's a lot harder to say I have a cow and I want to bring my cow down to trade it for a car, and I got to walk this cow down to the friggin' dealer or something. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot simpler if I have a piece of gold that has real value that I can take down and say, okay, I'll give you these 3 pieces of gold for that piece of machinery. And it just simplifies trading a little bit. But once you take the value off that trading instrument and you turn it into something that whoever rules, whoever makes it, has the power, then the value will drop. What you can purchase with the same amount will get less and less and less over time. Hence the problem of having $5 that 100 years ago you could probably buy X with a car, and today you couldn't buy a freaking chocolate bar with $5. A coffee's more than $5, right? But back then you could buy a lot with $5. So it's because the valueless system that we put ourselves into, right? They steal our money every time they print another dollar. The dollar in your pocket is worth less. Or it has, not that it's worth less, it has less purchasing power. So they're not even stealing your money, they're stealing your ability to purchase, to trade. They're taking that from you, whoever they is. I have a sort of an idea who it is, but no one knows for sure. And so in a way, you have to take that into account, right? We're always going to need some sort of simplified mechanism to barter and trade with, right? And definitely the one we have now contributes to the ability to have these massive wars because they're profitable. They make good money, these big wars, right? And they get rid of people that whoever's ruling, they get rid of people that they despise, right? And they use the wars as their rituals, blood rituals, to make them more powerful, because they believe the more they sacrifice our blood, the more they raise themselves in the world and in their own consciousness and whatever. I don't have all the words, but you know what I'm saying.
I like Easter Lou, man. That's good, man. Extremely well said. I could have said it better, Jack. He's on point. Everything he just said there. Do you agree with what Lou just said?
I stopped listening.
Well, listen, paper is but the ghost of money. Okay.
Right.
What do you think about
I don't
this digital
need a
currency?
fucking lecture or a history lesson on money. That's ignoramus to even think that I do, based on the things that I've said already. So
okay, so if you're not contributing to doing any exertion, why should you get anything?
History, you want to keep repeating what you've learned. I'm saying what I'm saying because of what I've learned. But fuck, you want to believe a world always needs money, and if it always needs money, well, fuck, it always needs war. And if we always need war, well, we always need government. And if we always need government, well, we're always going to have something to complain about.
Well, that's illogical. That whole pattern's wrong.
Your history lessons.
No, you see, the thing is that gold or silver is here before you came, and it'll be here after you're dead. You're not going to be here. You're just a steward of it when it's here. When people are just creating fake money with a printing press, listen, then you have usury debt. You can't pay back the debt interest with more debt. I mean, that's the fundamental problem, Jack. It's not the money, it's the fiat system. But if you can't make that distinction, no one's going to listen to you in a logical argument.
There is no separation between money and the fiat system and gold and the
Who's
accounting
making all the
system
noise?
and the political
Holy
system.
shit.
There's no separation.
We're all set, Megan. I'm just gonna slide it in there, and then I'll put the doors in. Love it.
Is that you, O'Shea, making all that noise?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna be quiet.
Mute. Snafu, mute.
What the heck? Snafu, mute your damn mic.
I think that's okay.
What are you baking cupcakes or something, Snafu?
That's what I thought.
Brian,
it was Brian.
I fucking love you, Paul. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, Lou and Tribe, I didn't mean to be so disagreeable. Thank you for
Jack,
the thoughts you were
is-
offering, but I'm not going to accept what you're presenting because it's based upon
What
I'm
are
asking
we
you
pres-
to
what
rebut
are we
it.
presenting? What are we presenting, Jack? In
Yeah,
your opinion,
rebut the.
what is it we're presenting? If in your view, like what do you think we're trying to say? And not that I'm
well,
trying to say anything like tribe or whatever. I'm just trying to say what I understand. What do you
well,
see?
I don't remember exactly what I was discussing or what I brought up, but I said something that created the two of you just going on and on with your disagreements. And it was disagreements that were built on a false assumption based
No,
on what
wait,
you
whoa,
just
stop, no, call them out, man. Don't start getting abstract with us, dude. Because everything you say is a hodgepodge of cupcake nonsense. If you want to
I
get down
know
that
that's what
road,
you
let's just
keep
call out
saying.
the specifics, Jack, and let's rebut them point by point, like a man would. Let's continue now. You have the floor.
Well, I'm not going to play your pissant bullshit argument game, but what I've been presenting is the fact
I'm not
that
your daddy, first of all, Jack, so don't call pissant nothing. Try and be adult to adult. If you can't act like that, no other man is going to respect you or your opinion. Now, continue.
I don't need your opinions on what others do when you're disrespecting me
Well,
repeatedly.
go out there and see if I'm wrong, Jack, because I think you're full of shit. Now, continue.
I'm done with you, Tribe. What I was saying, though, is trying to present the concept of a future where we don't rely on money and currency, that we actually think beyond what we were taught. Because money, all these systems, all these governments, all these everything will be here after we're gone. And it was here before we got here. So should we make that fucking excuse, Tribe? That money and gold and silver were here before us, so we should continue to sacrifice children at
So
the
No,
expense
would
dumbass,
you
that's not what I
and
said.
continue.
Stop. Listen. It was
Right,
here before
you're
you came
saying
here. It'll
shit
be
that
here
doesn't
after you're
make
dead.
sense.
That means you're a steward of it. It doesn't mean you have to live by it. It means it has more meaning than your stupid fiat that you seem to be fixated on. What are you for CBDC too, Jack? You probably want a
No,
handout. You want your little handout every month to do nothing but
no,
yap
hey,
your fucking
dumbass,
gums.
your
Shut up, man. You're gonna
accusations.
call some concrete solutions, call out my points point by point, rebut them like a man with logic or reason, or else just stick to your little feelings, Jackie.
You reject the logic and reasoning that feelings bring.
You're so circular in your fucking reasoning, dude. You don't even know logic. Do you know what a tautology
You
is? Do you even
didn't
know
even
anything about
listen to
logic?
my
You know
words. You
nothing.
reacted with an
Converse, inverse,
argument. You
reverse. You know
filtered.
nothing, Jack. No one
Come back
respects you
into
because
the
you don't have the
moment.
intellect. So if you
You
either
have
get
no
the intellect or get a better
superiority over
presentment
me.
or
Come
get
back
more
into the
substantial
moment.
ideas, dude, really. You're just
Come back
looping now.
today.
Jack,
That is
maybe it
you.
will help. Jack, hold on. Maybe it will help. Maybe I don't know. Just possibly it might help if you state, instead of saying what we are doing wrong and how bad we're failing and how we're
That's what
focusing
you're
on
doing
money.
to me.
No,
That's what you're
I don't.
literally
I
doing to
wasn't.
me.
If I was, I
Both of you.
apologize. I wasn't trying to do that.
Both of you are literally repeatedly doing that to me. That's the reason you're both confused
No,
about
we're
the
asking
things.
for specifics. That's why we're confused, because you can't spit out one specific.
I
Give me a
actually can,
specific,
and
and
I
then we won't be
have,
confused,
right?
Jack. You're confusing
Your
us, Jack, because
accusations
you're
are
lost your
false.
imagination instead of facts.
Tribe, your accusations right now are false. You need to review the claims you just made that I never present. You're making allegations.
Wait. What was my claim? Well, see, you can't even
claim.
get my claims right, Jack. You debate your own fucking imagination. You're so fucking lost in your imagination. No one respects you. That's your problem, dude. You start for a while, then you get lost.
Just, hold on, Tribe. Just
Hey, can I
try to
build?
bring it down a little bit.
You mind if I build off of one of the things Tribe was saying on gold? The example. This is Kem. Haven't been here in a while, but nice
Hi,
to see
Kem.
you guys. So how it was explained to me that really made sense is, I think obviously everyone knows gold has like an intrinsic value for whatever reason. It doesn't deteriorate. It's used in electronics for whatever. It's in history had an intrinsic value. And the way it's explained to me is 200-300 years ago, a $20 piece of gold could buy you the finest suit of the finest materials by the finest tailor anywhere in the world. Just a $20 piece of gold. Today, if you had that same $20 piece of gold, it would buy you the equivalent of the finest suit made by the finest material by the finest tailor in the world. Now that may cost you, $10,000 today, but that $20 gold piece is what it can purchase you, or what amount of energy it can get from you in the world remains the same. That now fiat has it only pins off of what you can purchase with that gold. That's why it fluctuates. Gold doesn't go up and down. The purchasing power of the dollar goes up and down.
Right. That's what I was trying to say. I mean, maybe you said it better than me. I would just like to say to Jack, if he doesn't agree, my question would be, if you don't agree with money and the fact that we've been, trained to believe that it has this value, or whatever it is you believe, what would be a solution in your mind to deal with more practical things in the world, like how to get food, how to get transportation, how to get shelter?
I've answered this repeatedly, and I can do it once again in one word.
Okay.
It's something the selfish don't understand, but it's called sharing, where humans share the resources and the abundance that they are able to create individually together, where we create and provide for ourselves, for our families. We share that abundance with the communities. The communities share their talents and efforts together to build the businesses, to build the administrations of the logistics. We do it together with cooperation instead of competition.
And what do the deadbeats do? The ones that contribute nothing and want everything entitled to them.
You mean like the wealthy of today, like the
no, like you, Jack. Like the people don't want to work or exert or produce anything for anyone else of value. They just want to
that's what I thought,
overemphasize their own worth without doing anything to prove it of any substantial, factual, corroborated value. That's all.
Right.
I mean, how do you value yourself? Socially, economically, physically,
how would you imagine it? How
skillfully?
would you imagine it working?
I'm asking you the question, man. Where do you see? Where's your value? I can go on and list what I do.
Tribe, here's where I know. You asked that question based upon your judgment of me. Okay.
No, just what you've presented here.
So you're
That's all.
Rejecting the words that are being offered. You don't even consider the words for the truth.
Dude, your words are not truth. Listen, your word's salad, Jack. We all know this. It's not a joke. You know this is true. The only time you're not a word salad is when you're thinking about what you say. And you're not thinking about what you say right now. You're just repeating yourself ad nauseum. And that's what annoys people, especially me. I don't have the patience because it's very petulant. You're like a child and I'm an adult talking to you now. And that's not the way I correspond with other men. It should be adult to adult. If you can't respond to me intellectually, logically, with some kind of reason in you and rationality, then I can't communicate at that level with you.
I don't see it. You're not telling me right. You're not
See, you're
doing
like a little
the right
child.
thing. I can't do it.
You're a fucking child blaming me on your ignorance. What the fuck
by
is
my
wrong
words
with
now,
you, dude?
and evidenced by your behavior, Jack. Petulance is not the key to getting people to communicate with you. We're not going to feel sorry for you. We're not going to feel you're entitled to anything because
you to. What are you going to do?
About your ideas that are better than lose.
And on and on. That's all
what
I
makes
see
your
you
ideas
doing.
better than lose for our solutions for the future? What makes your ideas better than lose? Why should I agree with you more than Lou?
Has Lou presented something solid for the future other than just maybe for himself?
Yeah, he talks about it all the time. Where have you been? I mean, do I need to rehash his own words? He could probably do it better, but I've heard it many times.
Hey guys, I got some. Would you let me say something?
You have no words. You have a bunch of fluff, Jack. There's no substance to anything you say. At that, I'll yield.
Okay. Hey, so I know I don't necessarily agree with Jack on everything, but in the last couple of years, I've got a taste of what he's talking about. I've worked with people in Washington area It's people helping people helping people. We've built a house. I've built a shop. I put in sprinklers. We have done so much, and there is no exchange of anything going between anybody. It's just you've helped me, I help you, you help me. Tractors get shared, trucks get shared. Literally, houses have been built. I've been part
Who's
of
paying
a
for
system. Say what?
who's paying for the resources to build this stuff?
The
If
the
the
person.
labor is free, but who's paying for the resources?
Well, it's a combination of things. I mean, it's literally like, so this house that got built, this guy, he's been collecting this stuff for a couple years, right? He's been doing favors. Like all of the lumber that came from this house, I'm not sure exactly where he got it, but I know for a fact that he didn't pay fiat or anything. It's, this is an old man. He's done so much help, and he's helped so many people that he has acquired this stuff over the last couple of years. And like I get what you're saying, Tribe, but the thing is there is something to what Jack's saying, because I've seen it happen. So I don't know, like I just wanted to throw that in there because there is something to what he's saying. It's just not all fluff.
Yeah, I've already
everyone has
said
a rich
there's
uncle.
definitely a way to live like that. You could get all the materials you get secondhand based on people throwing shit out. If you put that much care and attention and time in, there's a way to the way that doesn't involve using worldly systems, but you don't have to destroy worldly systems to not be part of a worldly system, or to use a worldly system and not make it the all the time, everywhere, at all places, with all people.
And
Yeah, I
with that,
totally
I'll let you
agree.
guys continue. But like I said, there is something there, and I'm going to pursue it because, again, people helping people helping people. People work so much harder. People love each other. There's definitely something there. So anyway, have a good one, guys.
I totally agree with what you just said there. I mean, I built a barn, a massive barn. It's like 40 by 66 feet long, 2 floors. And literally every piece of material that's in it, I've either found, removed from some other property that was being demolished, or I purchased for like pennies on the dollar, where it was cull lumber from Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, and got for like 90% off. So $1,000 of lumber, I'd pay $10 for it. I mean, $100 for it. Like very, very low exchange of fiat. And I built a massive barn and everything, windows,
Pipe up,
doors.
fat slave.
People throw away more shit today than you would imagine. You could build entire communities with what people throw away today. So I agree with that. But also, there is, I believe, a place for having some system of currency where you can travel more easily with a smaller store of value that you could put in your pocket and go somewhere to purchase something that's larger. I believe there's a place for that. I don't know what the system we have.
Can I please
Yeah, and
jump
simply
in?
this: are you going to go with your 10 cattle to go buy more land? You find the guy that gives you gold for the cattle. Then you take that gold and then you purchase the land from the guy that owns the land for your community or whatever it may be. But you would pool that together. You don't go with a herd of cattle to go sell it. The landowner doesn't. The guy that you're buying the land from may not want that cattle, but he could take that gold and then get it exchanged exactly a value for whatever he wants it to be. It gives you flexibility and choices. It doesn't restrict you to an international private banking system. It's been used for thousands of years. It's not to be praised or hoarded. It's to be utilized to keep the progress of life.
A tool.
It's the purposes of life. That's all, Jack. It's not evil. It's to be used to make our lives better, so we could, like Lou said, travel more, do more things, self-actualize more. It's to prevent, the impediments of things, to make it easier for us to do that. Now, yes, people may abuse it. People may go and steal and do all these things. It's up to us to uphold the truth and the rights of people. And the government's supposed to uphold the rights, not to interfere. And commerce and trade are two different things. And if you're going to be engaged in things like trade, then you don't have to be an international private banking system. At that, I yield.
I mean, Israel and England could never have made World War I happen if the Federal Reserve wasn't created on Jekyll Island on, 1913. We all know the story. So as soon as that was created, they were able to take control of the money system and fund both sides of the war. A year later, we had World War I because they had the capital to make it happen. And they didn't have it prior to that. And they tried, right? They tried heavily to make it happen, right? They sunk the sister ship of the Titanic in order to get rid of their opposition, right? There's a cricket in your ass, Paul. You might want to try and grab that. It could cause internal problems. But anyways, I agree with you too, Jack, that yeah,
no, you don't. You don't agree with
value.
shit. You don't tell people you agree with me because
I do agree that people
I don't
put
agree
too much
with you.
value.
You are disagreeable in my experience, Lou.
Okay. All right.
Nice about you, and I see the continuing disrespect from you and Tribe. So my patience.
Maybe you should try
Jack,
to be more patient. You
do
could
you see
try
money?
that.
Should I, in the face of slavery and
I
ignorance and
don't say
stupidity?
should. I would use the word you could try to be
I
more patient.
I could sit here and listening to you guys go on and on and on about nonsense and just shut up and not make any reactions, not even address it. But golly gee, that's not who I am. I don't like stupidity and ignorance.
Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. What is
Can I
stupid
bring us
about
back to
what
the conversation that was
said?
going on?
Yes, please.
Okay. Horde came, I think it was Horde. Someone came up and spoke about seeing some of the things that I hope to experience in my life, right? Communities coming together and helping, because that's the idea I do see, is people helping people. And Lou, one of the things with that is the resourcefulness of people. I do admire you, Lou. Even though I disagree with your diet choices, you're a fucking resourceful man. That is clear. And you respect that which you receive by some definitions. But to change this world, we've got to start seeing the resourcefulness in each other instead of the wastefulness.
But you're saying it right there, resource. Money is a representation of human labor as a resource.
According
that is not
to
infinite.
you and according to the past. Now, if you want to repeat the same arguments, you're going to get the same results. Now, if you want to push your mind beyond what you think, I'm happy to further explain or describe what I'm
How about
trying to
this
say.
situation? How about a hypothetical? You're an able-bodied man, and in my negligence, I injure you, and now you can't take care of your family. How am I supposed to compensate you for that?
You use resourcefulness and you find a way. You use your connections, your community to help repair the damages that you
I don't have a community. I'm traveling through town. I'm on my horse cart, and I'm not paying attention.
So where is this imagination? Where is this fantasy?
Any
What's the
situation where
connection
I
to
harm you as
reality?
an able-bodied man who's going to take care of a family, and
Is
now
there a
you can't do
connection
it.
to reality? Or are
The
we
only
just
way
going
to
to sit
hold
and
me
imagine
liable is for
fucking
me.
hypotheticals and
This is a very practical hypothetical situation. I mean, I'm not going to go harm you so you can play it out in real life, but the reality is the only way is for me to take labor that I've stacked up in this way of money and give it to you for my negligence. Now you can use that money to go get resources instead of your back and your labor. Like, fundamentally, how are you supposed to deal with very common situations like that in a world where we're only exchanging corn and eggs for stuff?
We change what is common, because what you're describing is the results of a society that believes in punishment.
There's no punishment. That's just fair for
All
fair.
right, so disagree rather than understand.
Punishment would be put me in jail Now I
Well,
get punished and you don't get compensated.
retribution, right?
Not
Is that not like
retribution.
revenge?
Not retribution.
That's not what I heard him say.
Compensation,
For a
reward.
wrong to another individual.
Okay, so reward for a wrong would be punishment of the instigator. And so the
So should I
ego
not
is
pay?
the punishing mindset. Here, let's try to paint a picture.
So you should just be paralyzed and I
Let
get
me
away with
try
nothing.
and answer. I'd like to try and answer your question differently than I first did, if I may.
Sure.
We recognize that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And while individual spirits, humans, may make errors in judgment and we do cause harms, there are alternatives towards this punishment and reward. There is correction. We could bring this into a moral court, right? Rather than
Kind of like how you buy your
individuals
coffee with the
determining the
fiat you
value.
use that you drink all the time now, Jack. Your Starbucks using your fiat.
No, he's had that cup. He's had that same cup for a long time. He doesn't go buy Starbucks.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you.
He's had that same cup for a long
Jack,
time.
Jack, you're just nuts. Tribe and
No,
Lou are trying to give you no Tribe and Lou. You can't Nazi block me here, fucker. Tribe and Lou, we're giving you like knowledge, and you're rolling your eyes. Your body language was ignorance. That's
So
a
what?
dictator. Fuck, dude.
That's your opinion.
You Ian Stein block people. I'm
Hey,
surprised
your
you're on right
opinion
now
on
and
the
haven't ran
facts
away like a
is
little coward.
irrelevant.
But you know,
The
Lou,
facts
these guys
were
care
that I
about
did
you.
that.
These guys are trying to give you knowledge, and your ignorance is fucking bullshit, Jack. You're
Okay.
ignorant. Your people watch your eyes rolling.
Says the man.
You can't even listen to opinion, but you want to be a leader.
Oh,
you want to be a
golly.
leader, but you fucking can't listen to
What
opinion,
about
Jack
you?
Chatbot.
What about you, dude? You claim to be a leader of this snafu
Yeah, I call
crew and
cupcakes like
fucking.
your bitch ass out and Venus Cupcake and all these little bitches. You are a fucking cupcake. But no, seriously, Lubass and Tribe, they're trying to be cool with you and give you knowledge, bro.
I know they
And
are.
you
Stop
ignorantly
fucking
rolled your
defending them
eyes.
like
You
you're
ignorantly
victims.
fucking, and you know what? I give you props and said you at least didn't lie and say, oh, you said I wasn't listening. So I do give you that. Everyone saw you weren't. But that's what I'm
Right.
saying is
So
you're
what?
such a dictator on your
So
fucking
what?
even listening to
Try
opinions.
to understand me
And
instead of
you're
your
a
false
goblin, you sucking little
accusations, and we'll
granny
get along
panties,
better.
idiot. Another cupcake's on the board now, but no, Tribe and fucking Lubass were trying to help your ass, and you just ignorantly fucking dismissed them like they were shit. Their opinions were
shut
shit.
up. You know what, Tribe and Lou, I intend no disrespect to you. I wish to God you could say the same thing, but I know that's not true.
I know you wish to God you could China block me out like fucking Ian China right now, huh?
I meant no disrespect to you, Jack. I really did not. I wasn't trying to help you. I was just giving my idea of what would work and not work, I guess. I don't know. It's just giving my view on it. And I wasn't trying to disrespect you. I promise you on all that I love. I was not trying to disrespect you. So
and don't mistake my it's no personal attack on you, Jack. When I get mad at you, it's a personal. Excuse me. The attack is when you listen. When you can't. You're talking over me, Jack. Let me explain myself before you talk.
Which one?
When you go on and you can't attack an argument, you immediately start attacking the person making the argument, and it's become quite evident. You turn everything to an ad hominem. You say, I'm done with you, I'm this and that, just like a petulant child. So no adult's got to respect that because it's the hallmark of hypocrisy. You exhibit the hallmark of hypocrisy, Jack, when you do that to people. That's why they don't respect you. What you're doing right now is very disrespectful, is petulant, is childlike.
Yeah, and if Tribe was on your panel, you would Nazi block his ass right now.
Yeah, and you're very obnoxious on top of it all, Jack. So no one respects you, and no one would ever have. Listen, you do not have any presentment of a leader whatsoever. I mean, listen, who or what have you ever led? Now, answer my question. Who or what have you ever see this? Now you got to attack me. I get it. Don't answer my question. I'll sit here and take your attacks. I yield, Jack.
I'm not.
Go ahead. Start your personal attacks on me now.
You are
Try, even
presenting
the
as a
cupcakes
fool
need a
right
leader,
now,
and if he's gonna say he's leading the cupcakes, they're gonna believe it. They're gonna cupcake it. They're gonna fucking cow cause it or something. But you know what? You know what, Jack? I see Ian China optics in you now more lately. I see ignorance when people try and fucking share knowledge with you, not necessarily debate you, but like say, hey, you want to think about it this way, that way, and you know that's why you become Ian China, dude, lately. For real. And then the way you're ignorant, even on these other pounds, I think you're chasing clout. I think you're clout chasing, bro.
Who cares? I really don't care what you think.
Right, you
anymore,
don't care. You want that fiat to hit your donations. You want your
no,
fucking message to get out. You don't care.
Hey,
You don't
can
care
you
about what
consider
anyone has to
this?
say. You don't care about the
Snafu?
reality. You're not going to get up and call the United Nations. I've
Snafu?
called them twice for you now. Have you called them once? No.
You're a
No.
fucking clown,
Jack
dude.
Calcott
You're
doesn't
a
do shit.
cartoon character,
Jack
really.
Calcott gets on podcasts and
You're
talks.
like a
Jack
cartoon
Calcott
character.
fucking Nazi blocks. Like Ian China lately.
All right, keep going.
Okay, well, Jack Calcott is a cupcake. Jack Calcott has frosting on his shit. Jack Calcott.
Keep going.
Okay, well, Jack Calcott fucking could be a Granny Candy Karen one day. No, you know what, Calcott? You need to listen to people trying to help you, bro. Don't be ignorant, dude. Ignorance is not going to get you anywhere.
How are you to give advice about ignorance when you've come up and already presented false accusations after ignoring the explanations?
What's
you came
false?
up with
What
the false
false
claim of the
accusations did I?
Starbucks.
What is false, Jack? What false accusations did I say? That you
Let me
haven't done
answer.
anything? You haven't called the United Nations?
Hey,
You haven't done
dumbass.
shit yet? What
Hey,
false?
dumbass.
No, what false? Oh, the Starbucks? Okay,
Yeah.
well, you know, if I had money to buy Starbucks every day, I'd be happy.
Hey,
Some of us don't
dumbass.
have that fiat
Right,
that
right,
you love
dumbass.
to have and
Hey,
use a
dumbass.
lot.
Hey, dumbass.
Maybe if I
That's the
started
false
it's
accusation.
like clout chase and
That's the false accusation, dumbass. You've completely ignored what I've repeatedly explained. I've explained the cup multiple times. Lou explained the cup to you today. You're still looping in your fucking ignorance, Snafu.
Do you think the United Nations will take Starbucks for a affiliate?
Why did you just deflect rather than recognizing you made an error as a man?
What error did I make? Saying that you fucking you didn't have Starbucks all the time when you were about to lose your house. You weren't showing all the time. You weren't all happy dappy fucking talking your preaching mode. You were fucking actually kind of listening and fucking, taking other people's opinion. The minute things changed for you, all of a sudden you started getting kind of crazier with the dictatorship and the I know it all and the blasphemous fucking Talcottism shit. But then you
Wow,
start being
that's
like
the
Ian
same
China.
thing Snafu does to people, isn't it?
Goblin, you suck on granny panty titties and Venus cupcake. The
You
cop
ain't
calling
shit and
Karen.
you're just mad,
You
bro.
notice the
Fact of the
cupcakes
matter
defend
is,
the
you
cupcakes.
teach nobody
So
nothing and you run the same loop.
Talcott, the cupcakes do need a leader, and maybe you have become the cupcakes leader. I see that. I'm surprised Ian China and you haven't joined forces more.
Dude, he doesn't like he blames me, I guess, for his unhappiness somehow.
4:20 Eastern time right now.
How can
4:20.
you make him
All are the
unhappy,
result
Jack?
of Ian's unhappiness.
Jack, I got your back. You cannot make Ian unhappy. Ian's a little bitch boy who makes himself unhappy.
Hey, I'm
got your
talking
back,
shit to Ian right now because I want him to speak to me like a man. These little bullshit games are kind of saddening as well.
Fucking make that.
Fucking
How is
what?
What?
I fucking love
Don't
you,
be a
Paul.
dictator, Cupcake Jack. Quit
Thank you, Paul.
showing Ian China's and listen to people trying to don't be so dismissive when people are trying to give opinion, even if their opinions are full of fucking shit. The way you present it, bro, is it's so ignorant, dude. And then the stuff we listen out of you, Jack. I called the United Nations for you. No motherfucker on the internet has done anything for you like that to try and help you get your goals. I'm just telling you, you gotta fucking present
Hey,
without being.
how long ago was that? How long ago was that? What have you done for me lately, Snafu, besides the
I'm
false
calling you a cupcake on your shit right now.
That was
I'm trying
good,
to
Jack.
say quit uncupcaking like a little bitch boy, like Ian and
Why don't,
fucking Goblin. Jack
hey,
Talcott, you could
why
make an
don't,
audio book.
Sincerely,
You go to the
Snafu
Great Talcott.
Crabs.
You go to the Great Talcott. Fuck these cupcakes. Quit being little. Listen to Lou Bass. Listen to fucking Tribe. Listen to Paul. Listen to people. Do Jack Talcott, but don't be a little fucking cupcake, little shithead Nazi dictator.
I don't know how to do Jack Talcott different than me.
You do you, absolutely, bro. Absolutely, Jack. You do you, man.
Goblin, you
Thank you.
cupcake. You want to suck on his titty while you're sucking on Karen
Hey, you're
Venus's
the one
titty?
D-riding all these
Goblin, you
motherfucking
fucking
channels
are
that
a
I
little
go to,
cupcake. Hey,
and you sit
Goblin
here
and
and
Method
divide everyone.
Tommy.
You ain't shit,
Hey,
bro. Now do
Goblin,
the
you
loop-de-loop.
threatened
Do
children
the
with Method
loop-de-loop.
Tommy. Why? Hey, Goblin, you and hey, where's your pal Method Tommy? Goblin.
Hey, check it
Threatening
out,
Do the
bro.
children.
loop-de-loop.
Your
Notice the
receipts are out there
cupcakes.
proving that
Notice
all
it's
these
all the
allegations you're making are
cupcakes you
false.
put. Jack,
Fact
do
of
you
the matter
understand what
is,
you're doing?
what you're saying is
You have
false.
become a magnet for cupcakes.
Do
Jack,
the
you have become
loop-de-loop with Snafu and True.
pogos, but all the cupcakes come to you guys. All the cupcakes come to you guys.
Hey, Snafu, does your crew actually appreciate the way you represent them?
I don't give a fuck. That's what you're supposed to be. You're truth, yo. But
You
He
don't
ain't
again,
even
care
got
about
no
people
crew.
that are
the
associated?
crew is
He's
the glue, which is
false.
each and every one of you, the truth, yo. But hey, it's everyone. Elise versus Peeps, Jack. You don't think that UN is fucking infiltrated? Jack Talcott is not gonna fucking fix the world wars. War makes money. Money and war is good for people with agendas in play. The B system agendas play. You could warn them of it. But Jack, can you stop prophecy? If you want to go in the God game and the biblical thing, I know you
Hey,
don't know the Bible and you do a lot of
wait.
blasphemous
Whoa,
stuff.
whoa,
But can you
whoa.
stop prophecy? Can Jack
Actually,
Talcott, the great,
let
stop prophecy?
hey, let me present the case that I believe this would fulfill prophecy, because I believe that it would. I believe that the meek would inherit the earth through the generosity and sharing of those who have achieved abundance. I believe that a world where the Christ spirit, where Jesus was ruling the land, that would mean where truth and love were freely available, freely shared throughout the world. And with
Do
truth
you
and
remember
love
where?
being
Do you
freely
remember the
shared,
verse
there
where
would
it
be
says,
no secrets.
Jack,
I
Jack,
like
you talk
free
a lot about.
love.
Hey, I want to say one last thing
I
before I go.
agree with Jack on the free love. Let's just put that on record.
Okay, yeah, but the love thing, the weaponized love thing I talk about, the hug a buddy, fuck a buddy love thing, the New World Order, one love, one government. Do you remember the verses if you want to go
No,
biblical?
that's not the love I'm talking. I'm not talking about
Hated,
that love.
even God hated Esau. God hated. So you want to
Is that
say, so
according
you're
to a
saying, so
book,
no, I'm just saying,
or is that
everyone
according
love
to
Wes.
truth?
everybody,
Hey,
but
Gil.
even God hated Esau.
I love Wes. I love you, Paul.
Love
Thank you,
is
guys.
a verb. Love is a verb.
Do
Imagine
you love
if we
me,
all quit
Jack?
lying. Imagine if we all quit lying.
Often.
And on a day like today,
No.
Mother's Day,
Nobody likes you,
when you
Lou.
wrote that
Nobody likes
card
you.
to your wife, to your mom, when you showed up for your people in life in general, you knew that love was a verb. The actions one partakes in to push his family's life forward. Imagine if your people, you wrote them a card and they say, hey, I love you so much. I'm so grateful for you. All these hot ass, empty ass fucking words. And they said, that's funny, honey, that you show it by gaining 40. Hey, you sure do look like you love me a lot. Or do you love them drinks and them snacks, motherfucker? Why don't you guys get this? Love is a verb. The actions we partake in to show that we love. Fuck your gift. They would rather you show up not a lazy, fat, dumb, drunk, titty-having bitch. Let's get into it. Let's get deep into this shit. Why the fuck do you believe it's okay to make your people compromise their integrity and lie to you? You make your people compromise their integrity. They have to lie to you. Hey, no, Tom, it's all good. You're looking great after that COVID wait. I know it was totally out of your control to not eat California burritos every fucking day. What the fuck? What the fuck? In a world full of people crushing it, I'm going to show up crushing it for my people because I love them. I don't lose that love for them at all through the day because guess what? For 10 fucking years, I cultivated that love within first. So my comprehension of what love is different than yours, motherfucker. Mine ain't just fucking words. Mine is adherence to vision, how I feel about them, and the energy I exude to them. You do love your kids. You do love your wife. You do love your people. You do. You do, motherfucker. You beer drinking, titty having, low level, poor, broke bitch. You love your people. You love your people as much as you comprehend what love is. And what you comprehend love to be is how you treat yourself, bitch. You've let yourself down so much that you think love is just words. You just say it. You don't really do anything about it. You fucking follow suit like everybody else. Oh, yeah, thank you. I'm grateful for you. I love you. Here's this trash I've been neglecting for 12 years. Oh, that sure looks like 20 years of love. How you just steadily got worse on me. You fucking awesome dude, you. Fuck. Where's everybody so lost for? Why are they so fucking lost? You cannot get this. Let me show you this. You can only exchange something at the rate it has built within. So the rate at which you know love to be created within you, you can only exchange it at that same rate. So if you don't love you very much, motherfucker, you can't love them very much, motherfucker. And everybody's going to want to disagree because that's what happens. People who are living a lie, they hate when you tell the truth. And I'm going to tell it to you. You will love greater. You will be more to them if you show up better for them. This is what nobody gets. They don't get that they're really embarrassing their fucking people. How could you not? Like, what the fuck? You should not be wowed by anything in life. You should be going after it with such fucking, just such intensity that it's proof that you love them. Nah, that motherfucker proves he loves his family. Did you see what he did for him last year, the year before that? Year after year, he just progressed his family with a relentless, it was a relentless pursuit of love. That's all this has been. When I was in prison, this is how it starts. And since you haven't learned to love yourself yet, which the only true depiction of self-love is investment in self. So you haven't even started this path if you don't love yourself yet. If you haven't engaged in growth and a process of self-investment. So this is how it started. I was in prison and I was lonely as fuck. My heart was broken. I had no family. Nobody was fucking with me. Couple messages here and there. Nobody came to fucking see me. I had a homegirl come one time. Okay, one time. Everybody else just disregarded me. It's not like they didn't want to see me. They just don't know that love is a fucking verb. They don't show up for you. They don't know how to show up for them. They're not wrong. That's all they know. How are you going to be mad at them? They don't show up for them. How are they going to show up for you? You're stupid for believing they could. So this is the thing. I'm in prison. I'm alone. My heart's fucking broken all the time. And I want love so bad. I want to get out. I want a family. I'm dreaming of Valerie. Like I was creating her in my head and now I have it. But how did it start? I wanted love so bad that I decided to give it to myself. And when I gave it to myself, I attracted it. I attracted love by loving my fucking self. Okay? Do you get how that works? It starts with self. You cultivate love within self at a high degree to then where you demand that type of love from other people. You demand them to be their best self. All of a sudden, they can't just gain 40 and fall the fuck off. They can't just engage in shitbag fuckery and get shit canned all the time and fuck your guys' life off because they're a pathetic piece of shit who can't control their desires. You are creating love within to then show other people how to love themselves so you can come together as one and love each other. Is everybody going to figure this out? No, because they're lazy, selfish pieces of shit. I really live for my fucking family all fucking day. I don't give a fuck about me. Why the fuck would I need anything? I think Wes Watson needs anything. No, he goes and gets what he fucking needs. And what he needs to have is respect and love from his people. So he'll only be what he would love and respect. Would you respect someone who just, you met one way and then they just fell off over 15 years and then kept telling you they loved you? Sure looks like it. It sure looks like it. Your actions surely prove that. So start with self. It's okay to not know any of this. They didn't teach you this. Nobody taught anybody this, okay? It's okay to not know any of this and be fucking up right now at this moment. It's okay. But after you hear this message, it's not okay to stay that way. Drop the bullshit. Start to love yourself. How do you know what self-love is? Anything that's disrespectful to self has to go. So anything you're disrespecting yourself with has to go. And disrespecting yourself is anything that's deterring you from the future you wish to create for you and your people. So get yourself in line. Really build yourself into the person you admire most. No fucking lies. Oh no, I really admire this, what I got here. Like this, I never wanted to be that jacked or that rich. Fuck being ripped, rich, and rare. I'd rather be dumb, drunk, and broke and fat with kids. Fuck is this shit? Fuck are these lies? Like, and you guys, start with you. Learn to love yourself and treat yourself at such a high level, and then be patient with your people. Love them by creating the best you to give to them, and give them the best life by you fucking grinding every day to create an optimal existence for them. There's so many underlying issues to this that you guys don't even get. Do you even get that you dumb, drunk, loser fucking parents that are on drugs or drinking, do you not get that you cause your children to be manipulative? Like they know when you're high or when you're drunk and they come manipulate you. You're showing them that when people are inebriated, you can easily take advantage of them. You're so many underlying flaws and issues in here. And then everyone else will just so Wes, just because I don't have money and be able to drive my kids in a Rolls. No, it's not about that. It's not about just giving them everything that they never had, your kids and your wife and your family. It's not about just giving them everything they never had. It's about teaching them everything they never knew, the wisdom. And what people don't get, they always want to talk shit about the money, and they don't realize they're talking shit to the wrong person, because I gained success off bringing people success. If you want to make your dreams come true, you have to make other people's dreams come true. And a lot of people who hopped to my program, their dreams were to just lose 50 pounds. And bam, their life was back. A lot of people hopped on and their dream was just to quit drinking. And bam, their life was back. Gave them their wings back. Watched them fly again. Look at my face. This isn't someone calling you out. This is someone calling you up to motherfucking greatness. And you've been delusional to your potential the whole time. You've really thought you were working at your highest level. There's way higher, and you have it in you. I love you guys. Don't walk away from this believing you did something. Go fucking do it. That's the problem with the soft-ass motivation messages. You make cupcakes who are losing, walk away from your message. It's all, oh, I feel fucking great. That's all they care about is how they feel. Not no motherfucking results for them and their people. I love you guys. Understand that my love for you guys is the action I partake in daily, because I'm thinking about you. When I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about you. When I'm shooting this video, I know I can't let you down. Everything I do, I think about everybody in my life, and I know how important they are to me. So I have to produce a grand result to push them forward as well, to show them what's possible. The greatest gift you can give is inspiration, motherfucker. Give it. Let's go.
And just like regular cake has to rise, just like a loaf of bread has to rise, a little leaveneth, leavening the whole loaf, you little cupcakes. Hey, Jack,
wizard.
Jack, how come you don't bodybuild? I think that's something you should get into. Good exercise and bodybuilding. Just a suggestion, brother. Ayo.
He can eat some tentacles and eat some liver, and Liver King it too. Get big, Jack. Pump up, juice up, bro. Get on cycle.
I actually plan that. That is part of my future. Is once once things do start changing, I'm going to focus on rebuilding my physical character and my appearance and stuff like that. And that is one of the goals. People will witness the transformation of the $150 Jack who's kind of let himself get a little soft, and I look forward to getting back to a routine like that. But at this point, my physical appearance, I don't give a shit.
Hey, so what'd you get out of the West presentation here?
He said a few things. I fucking love that guy, man. He said something about you can tell how someone understands love by how they treat themselves. Something like that. He said something
Yeah,
that just
and right. And what was the best way to make sure that you're loving yourself? Do you remember what he said?
invest in yourself and your own development.
Well, he also said, how do you get to that point concretely? And the first step he said to do was to get rid of all the bullshit that's holding you back, right? All those.
Right.
So
that's what I've been. Sorry to interrupt, but that's exactly the message I've been giving too. The thing that's holding us back, excuses and blame. Get that shit out of your mind and out of your heart, and then commit yourself. That's what I heard him saying. Even in prison, he committed himself to love. He identified what was important to him in his life, and he focused on that to build that within him so he could offer it to the world when the time came.
And do you remember what his introductory phrase was, right? Love is an action, is the actions that you do. Yeah. It starts with yourself, right?
Well, here, I'm sorry to interrupt, but thank you, Tribe. You're absolutely right. Some of the things he was saying, I put it in the comment on my channel, is that there's a lot of opposites to me and him. You know, people mock me for spending over $20,000 trying to have a conversation with my son. They mock me for all the things that all the efforts I've made trying to restore my relationships with my family. So I've taken
I don't think they're mocking
for love.
I don't think they're mocking you per se, Jack. I think more so, I don't know, it's my belief. I could be wrong. I believe they're mocking the action that you did about
the approach.
Maybe had you given your sent your son $20,000 instead of some
This
loser.
is an irrelevant. Hey, Lou, this is an irrelevant
Maybe that
comment.
I
Right,
think
right.
they're not
Rather
judging
than
you.
but
They're judging.
Point, Lou, my point is, I take it whether anyone likes my actions, whether anyone approves of the path I took for myself or not. I've been taking actions for love. I lost my career because I had love for the fellow workers at the Postal Service and thought I could make a difference for them. So it was love that's been driving me for the past few years. And here's the difference between me and him again. He said once he identified the love and built the love within him, love was attracted to him. My experience was the opposite. Once I started loving myself, everyone fucking left me.
I think you mistaken love for narcissism. Loving yourself is narcissism. What Wes referred to as love is when
my path is different than you've assumed, Tribe.
Let me make a distinction for you, Jack.
Your conclusion of narcissism is offensive and inaccurate, but please continue.
Okay, according to Wes, what he was saying with love, the way it is, that you have to have that much value in yourself before you can give value to others. You can't give more value to others than they can actually see in you. Otherwise, it's disingenuous to begin with and just basically pretentious at worst. So what I'm getting at is that you want to be able to prove with substance the value in yourself, either by the transformations of things around you or yourself that produces value. The key was value to the others, to your people. Remember what Wes said, to your people? That's your family, your friends, your community, whatever it be. But you first produce value for yourself, so that you can only give that much away. That's how much currency you have to give, is what you've done. So if you haven't done for yourself, you have nothing to give to others yet. That's what I got from Wes too, which is again like building currency. You're not going to just get someone. You're either going to have to mine gold out of the earth yourself, or someone's going to have to do it for you and exert that. And the difficulty of it is what keeps the regulation of of it being a rational exchange of our exertions so that we can have trade done in a more expansive way than just basic barter. You get it? And that's just what I'm trying to get at, Jack, is that there's these distinctions Wes is making here between love, between action, between value, that when you listen to him and you're not paying attention, I can clearly see, because all these questions drift right back into your own personality and all viewed through your own lens, which is another hallmark of narcissism. So exactly. So unless you want to address these point by point, like I'm trying to do here with you, it seems disingenuous that you keep attacking me and the people around you instead of the points, the valid points we're bringing forth. And I yield.
Jack. Hello.
Hey, brother.
How's it going?
Blessed. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I'm sharing fellowship and hearing opinions from ignorant people, but yeah, it's fun.
Can I offer a perspective that might help? I don't know. So before gold, people used seashells to barter, right? So in every culture, there's something that people use to exchange value. So money is a phenomenon. It just occurs. It's like a natural part of being human. We need some way to exchange value. But the problem is the last couple of hundred years is money is part of state control. And that's a real problem. So whether you're a gold bug and think that gold and silver are the best forms of money, or a Bitcoiner, which I would confess to being, or whether you just believe that money should be back on a gold standard or whatever, I don't think money's the problem. I think money's amoral. It's like a gun. It can be used for good. It can be used for bad. But it's been corrupted, and inflation is a problem. So I get everything you're saying, but I don't think money's the problem. That's just what I wanted to offer.
I respect that, and I don't necessarily disagree either. Money is not the problem, it is the corruption of man. But what has caused the corruption of man? Greed. What is the most likely source of greed? It's money and sex and food. Money, sex, and food have been used to corrupt the minds and hearts of man. So what I'm suggesting is a more moral life for everyone, right? Become the moral whole, set apart, the whole and complete being, set apart from the world, so that you live a life like the way that was taught by Jesus and those others. You know, the religions are pointing in the right direction, but we don't need the finger, right? Paul played that video earlier. You don't need to focus on the finger. The money is a tool. It's a process of exchange, but we can exchange fairly when people become honest, and when people become moral, we will no longer need the governance and enforcement and judgment of others.
Jack, you said you're spiritual. You're using Jesus a lot. Do you know what happened when they partook of the fruit? So you want to change what humans are and mankind. You want to Neuralink them? Like, are you or are you gonna like somehow abracadabra? Like, how are you? The things you're saying, Jack, you want to change human nature. The things you're saying kind of blasphemous if you want to be real about scripture and what you're saying too. But my whole thing is like on a real level, Jack. Okay, you come on these podcasts. You said it's the fame, it's this, it's that. You know, what about people who get attention? Okay, my Jack, is that what's going on here? Because I'm not trying to like clown or be mean. I see a lot of talk. I see a lot of things with these other people. You is the same thing. Like, I'm a looper, bro. I get it. I do it on purpose. I get it, Jack. But what I'm saying is you looping without even fucking putting actions in it. But some of the stuff you're saying is going against script. Like, how are you going to say you want to change evil or good, or and you say that we got to love is the only way. Even God hated Esau. You're completely like flipping script to the Taoism spiritual way. Is that really what's going on here? Or like, what is it, Jack?
What it is your religious beliefs are keeping you fucking confused.
No, my religious belief, I to each their own. You know, I got friends who don't believe. I got friends who do believe, but I do know the scriptures. I have my own beliefs. I know you blaspheme a lot of it. You don't even take part of what is really said. You've made a lot of it up. You've admitted fully you haven't read it. But let's not talk about religion.
You're
No, let's
such a
not talk about
liar.
religion, Jack. You sat here and said, and I even called the United Nations, knowing that they are part of the New World Order. I called them for you, Jack. I do this for a living, like Poco Buddha.
Right.
But you know,
You did
Jack,
it
do
as
you
a
not
joke.
understand how
You did it as a
how
joke, and you
infiltrated we
think
are, and
now
you want to change
you're a fucking
mankind to
gaslighter
uninfiltrate
manipulator.
ourselves. How do you do that, Jack? Do you say abracadabra? Do you put Neuralink in these people? How do you change the essence of what human is to what you say to make these wars and everything go away and make the greed and the envy and the clout chasing and jealousy and all? Like, Jack, what do we do? Are you trying to be God in a way and change things?
I don't want to do anything except be myself. And to answer your question, how is it going to happen? Well, Paul said it earlier. I do nothing, and yet nothing remains undone. All that must be done is completed. And all I have to do is find a way to maintain me and share that which I know. And what you guys choose to do with what God reveals to you through me is up to you.
It just makes me think more about application of information, not just information.
You're allowed and encouraged to think whatever you want, but what
Both
I'm
have some great
offering,
points here.
all I'm offering is that you allow yourselves to consider the words I'm saying.
Okay, that's great that you said that, because what happened earlier and what have we been witnessing? And I'm not trying to be a dick. You are not considering any of the words of others. You, like, in your channel, you Nazi block them, boot them out, get rid of them. You complete blah blah blah. You know, you're Ian Shinoff, but like, you know, even here on this stream, Lubass and others were, you know, over the, you know, myself, Tribe, Paul, everyone. When we don't listen to you, you get crazy about it. But we're supposed to listen to, like, you don't listen to us, but we're supposed to listen to you. Like, how does this work, Jack? Like you really, the optics here are showing a two-fenced way, or I guess, like, I don't even know what to say. It's like you're
You
saying
want a
one thing, but
response, or
doing
do you
another.
want to just keep? You can, here, to answer your question, it's exactly what you're doing right now. Okay. You're
Exactly.
not.
What am I doing
Can
right
I
now?
let
Calling
me
out on your
explain?
bullshit,
Here,
which
no.
Tribe did
Here's
earlier, and then you got butthurt
this.
about it?
Once again, you're creating another evidence. I say something, and then you react to what I say.
Evidence. Is this evidence
You
A, B, or
ignore,
C for the court of Talcott? Just curious.
and you're doing it again. But then you ignore or you speak over my explanation for what you reacted to. So then you defend your reaction and
But Jack,
completely
you're
ignore
supposed to
my
listen to
words.
me because I'm supposed to listen to you. So
Well,
you need to
here,
listen to me. We're supposed to
so
listen to each other. So
so
listen to me, Jack.
so
Listen
that is
to
the
me.
question here.
You're getting
Now
mad that
I
I'm
want
not
to
listening to
address.
you. You
Now
gonna
I
listen to
want
me?
to. Now I want to address your claim that you made that I don't listen and that I have an expectation or a request, a suggestion that you guys do listen to me. So I do listen, despite what you think. I do pay attention, except when it's just looping, repetitive nonsense that I've heard several times before. So the other point to that is you guys are not going to hear what I have to say when all you're doing is expecting me to listen to you.
Jack, you have looped about calling the United Nations for a long time. I started
And
that. You
once
keep
again,
looping
you
about it. You
completely
talked about it last
ignored
night.
my
You talked about it today.
word.
You have yet to do it. So you're doing the same thing you're saying. You're saying we're looping or we're getting all, but you're looping. You're looping about working with the United Nations. You haven't called them. You haven't said, hey, guys, look what I did. Listen to this. Look at what I'm doing. I got emails with the head dudes. I got meetings coming up. I'm fucking putting work in. Like you loop about talking it. Okay, so you could say we're looping, but I see the same thing with you loop-a-dooping.
And once again, I addressed the prior claims you made rather than resolve the disagreements that you created with your false claims. You deflected. You waited until I stopped speaking, changed the subject completely, and completely ignored everything that I
Oh,
said.
Jack, do not use this Me Too victimhood, Nazi Me Too triggered bullshit on me. I know you don't have your little red button to kick me out. But Jack, I'm being real with you. You are doing the same thing you're telling us that we're doing. You're looping, but you're with no actions. Some of us who are looping at least put action in.
Is anyone
I would be
on
so
this
happy to see if
panel
you actually did action.
willing
Said,
to
hey guys, look,
confirm my
I set up
word?
a meeting. I fucking called this guy. I see you on these podcasts talk about this great working with these elite fucktards who are part of the B system. That's why I laugh at the whole concept of you thinking that you could. But the whole thing is now I understand. You said you want to change the essence of humans. The fruit. Okay, good versus you want to make us the evil. You actually are sitting here trying to
I
say you
want
could do
you to
godlike
stop
shit
being
if we
evil.
listen to you.
Cupcake, I'm trying to get you to stop making false claims and being an agent of chaos for evil to continue.
I call it wheat and tear,
Specifically,
buddy. I
Snafu.
call it the wheat and tear. And it's a
Snafu,
real thing. Real recognizes
specifically,
real,
I
homie.
am
Real
addressing you
recognizes real in the
and
end, dude.
this
And
moment.
honestly, I'm glad Tribe called you out for your BS earlier. More people
It's
should.
not our
I
place
get.
to determine the wheats from the tares, though.
Hey,
It's
Goblin,
not.
you
It's
cupcake,
not
quit
our
sucking
place to
on this
determine the wheats
cupcake
from the
balls.
tares.
Lotus the cupcakes, defend the cupcakes. Goblin, why are you defending this man getting involved in shit that ain't even with your cupcake ass?
You know what?
He's
I've been rocking
speaking
over
the
at this channel for a
Are
while,
you
okay?
chastising?
And I'm not defending anyone. Simply, it's not our place to judge who are wheats and who are tares.
You
Simply
know what? I
observe.
sure as hell don't want fucking enemy scumbag traitors in my camp. Fucking stealing,
Stop
thieving.
creating them.
Fuck that shit, dude. You
Stop
guys act like this hug
creating
a buddy,
enemies
fuck
and
a
stop
buddy
being a traitor.
mentality. This Barney the dinosaur, fucking
Snafu.
one love. All you little cupcakes gotta
Snafu.
realize that. Real
You
recognize
are a
real.
traitor
And
to the truth.
you ain't gonna fucking be in everyone's camp, bro. You ain't gonna be in everyone's camp.
Hey, may I have the floor for one moment, please? Jack, you know the fundamental problem is here that nobody wants to address, and it's nothing offensive, and don't take it wrong. It's something you need to work on. You're a very poor listener. You pay no attention to what people say. You can't rebut their claims point by point, and it comes across as extremely disingenuous or just flat out you have like bad memory management. So nobody ever would want a leader that can't remember his the last thing he said or did or what someone just told him. I mean, Napoleon, he basically could walk through the lowliest troops as he's just walking by in a battle scene and see some guy there. It's like the lowliest corp and say, hey, by the way, Enrique, how's your sister and your mother? I know your mother was feeling, is she doing better and this and that? And he'd be like, oh my gosh, Commandante knows all these personal things about me and this. Even W, the idiot he had a great memory for faces. He'd look at your face once and always know your name. Bill Clinton, when he was in a conversation with somebody, he pretended like nothing else mattered. You were the only thing that mattered, and his attention was fully focused on you. Nothing could distract him. But when he's done with you, he's done with you, and he's on to whatever else is because he can't be distracted. Certain elements like that, Jack, are what get people into those positions and stuff. But what special, unique characteristic can you exhibit that would actually enter you into that arena as a worthy, valuable contributor, right? Because at this stage, without even a element of memory, I kind of question whether you even have the facility to do this. So I yield.
And I'm in agreement, and that's the only reason I give you a hard time, Jack, is because you make statements like one of my favorites. I'm no one special, but I hope to bring a message to show you that you're just as special as I am. And when we talk about these communication skills, that's what I see a problem with as well. You have poor communication skills is all. Other than that, like I've said many times, I think you are a great man. You're very intelligent. You know a lot of things. It's just that it's discombobulated, not organized, like many of us. I yield.
Yeah, Jack, you got your own truth, yo, like everyone, but you definitely show the optics of not giving a fuck, not listening, and admitting it. And then some of the shit you say is completely just fucking like laughable too. And it's like, dude, I mean, you got your own truth, yo, even if it's laughable. But the way you show other people, like just exactly how Tribe said it, you could have said it better.
I do love you, though, Jack. Honestly, I really do.
I don't care. It's in
That's
your,
part of the
your
problem.
reality.
You don't
Hey,
care.
Keith, it's in your reality, not mine. You may say those words, but love is a verb, love is an action. And I know clearly the actions you have shown towards me, your anger repeatedly. I know
Jack,
that
did you
is
not
not
listen?
love.
Did you not listen to what we talked about? Listening, and both these men fucking actually stood up for you. They just were talking about how you don't listen, and both these guys came here and said, Jack, we respect you. This is what we think. And now you're sitting here bitching at Wizard in your cupcake status, and it's the same thing. You're not listening. They came here
care.
with respect towards you, Jack.
Yeah, and I
And
don't
say,
care.
hey, and then you're gonna fucking come up on these guys like cupcake little triggered Me Too victim. Jack, you're not listening, bro. They care. People care about you. We care. I even care about the fucktard cupcakes because you know what? They're gonna learn, and I don't want no one wants to see the shit that's happening, the divisiveness, the division. I get it. The optics are
You're
high.
creating it. You
And-
refuse to
No,
see
no,
your
yeah,
part
because
in
you know what?
creating
We
the
have to fucking
divisions.
have that division, Jack.
Right.
Or
And
hold
when
people
you can
accountable.
listen,
You
and
have
you
to
can
hold
listen,
people accountable.
Okay,
and you
Jack,
can listen repeatedly. Many of us have stood here and said the same thing, and that we do care, and we do respect you, like we've said many times. And here you are still telling us you don't care. That's your problem, not ours. I yield.
I think what
I have no problems. The problems are in your guys' minds. This is what I've been trying to tell you. You're in fucking denial. Your accusations, your repeated accusations without the specificity is just revealing you. You're describing you, blaming me, and everyone just seems to sit back watching it. Nobody seems to care about what is true. Goblin spoke up about presenting facts and got fucking attacked because he was defending the truth.
Jack,
Because he was
did you watch
with you?
Bruce Lee? Wait, excuse me one second, Steph. Did you watch the Bruce Lee presentation at the beginning of this broadcast?
I referenced it myself.
Good.
Since
Then do you okay, so in this respect here, right? Okay, you're mistaking Wizards. It's not anger, it's emotional content. Okay. Now when he kicks you, he's kicking you with emotional content, and you're mistaking it for anger because you're like the kid that doesn't know the difference. You come at these people with anger, you have no emotional content because you're not respectful of what they said, because you never listened to what they said, you never contemplated, right? You just flap your little hand. You don't spend time thinking about what people say, so you don't exhibit respect of others or their opinions. You disrespect Wizard when he shows you compassion and he shows you emotional content that you can't seem to distinguish, and you mistaken as anger because you're stuck in really emotional modes. Yes, Jack, let's face it, you're petulant and you're stuck with an infantile representation of people's expressions. You just pigeonhole everything as anger or hate when there's a lot more depth to their emotional content and their expressions to you that you mistake.
Hey,
I like that.
Tribe, you do an excellent job of gaslighting and manipulating, making excuses,
Jack, did you learn that
enabling
from the
the
cupcake Me Too?
the
Hey, Jack, did you
unprovoked
learn?
Again, you're
anger.
attacking me, Jack. Attack
Cupcake
my
Me Too
ideas. Don't
victim?
attack me, Jack. You're attacking my ideas. I mean, you're
sorry.
attacking me instead of
Am I
my ideas.
wrong?
Attack
Hey,
my
I'm
ideas, not
sorry
me,
you
Jack.
feel
Stop
attacked.
Jack,
attacking
you're
the
acting
man.
Stop
like a little
feeling
cupcake
attacked and
victim, bro.
consider what I
Jack,
said.
you just literally told Tribe
Holy
you were a
shit,
cupcake
dude.
victim. What the fuck? Are you literally
emotional
telling Tribe you're a
content.
victim?
Try again.
You miss all the heavenly beauty above.
Mm-hmm.
I said emotional content, not anger. Now try again. With me.
Yeah, I love that. I love that be watching,
Jack,
my friend.
Jack, that what you just pulled though is exactly what these cupcakes do. They don't like their way, so they go victim status. They go all stupid. Then they fucking like. I mean, seriously, you just showed. I mean, what about the like when the UN? If you ever did, which I know you won't, and there's no point, elites, but you're delusional. But what if you ever had meetings with people of authority, and they were like, Jack, we don't think that this is you're not and are you gonna
Or if they
sit there in your
question
body
his track
language and
record,
you're gonna
Snafu.
act like a fool like this and
If they
like do
question his
you,
track record, that triggers him, right? If they question what have you done, he's gonna lose it in front of those people.
Hey,
yeah,
Joe, wait,
or they
whoa.
could pull up
Let's
footage
bring
from all
something
this
else.
shit and
Whoa,
say, look at what
can
he's
I
really
say
about.
something? Can you shut up for a fucking moment, Joe?
Okay, as
You
long as you're
just
not
said,
cupcake Me Too
hey,
victim,
hey,
go
Joe, how
for it.
about even worse? If I do actually get the attention of someone, and then I
Yes.
see they look for my track record and see this bullshit.
It's gonna happen, baby.
Yeah, why wouldn't you think they're gonna look you up and see who the fuck this guy is, Talcott? Just like you don't look up who the elite UN is working with and what they're part of the B system agenda, but you think you're gonna go in there and change their fucking ways and no, Jack Talcott. Of course they do the homework. Of course they do the homework. Who the fuck? If you went to the UN right now and someone said, "Hey, look at this guy," and they sent like clips of you for the last year, and dude. Jack, you're not presenting your like. I mean, do you understand? It's the optics, bro, and you're doing nothing other than like just talking, and and you're not listening, and you expect us to listen to everything, and if we don't, you're starting to get dictator about it.
There's a little truth in there, Jack.
Do you know that you're literally making those accusations as I'm sitting here silently, continuing to receive your disrespect publicly?
I would be off your channel. You would Nazi block me and boot me off if I said my opinion. But because you clout chase and you could go to any channels, I get it, Jack, what you're doing.
Let me say, Snafu. He said that you want people to hear your opinion more than you're willing to listen to others, and you called him a Nazi. You damn near proved his point. You were doing what Tribe said. You're not arguing the argument. You're going at the people with ad homs and saying you loop, and when they make a point, you're not taking it in. You're attacking them.
Are you talking to me or Snafu,
No, I'm
Joe?
talking to you. I've been watching you when people bring up certain criticisms about you, you attack them directly, and that was a good one. Snafu said that you want everyone to listen to you. I agree with that shit, and you're less willing to listen to others. I agree with that. And you called the man a Nazi. You're not listening. You may have been quiet, but you weren't
I
listening to
called
his point.
you're saying I called someone a Nazi?
Yeah, you
You
just
called
told
me a Nazi, you little
Snafu.
cupcake.
Yeah,
And I
you
called you a Nazi. Jack,
No.
Jack, listen, the thing is Joe
When
Cool is
I
telling the
didn't
truth.
call anyone a Nazi, that's your claim
Jack,
being
take a breath.
remembered.
Take a breath.
Yeah,
You've
that
done
is my
worse.
claim. You didn't.
You've
It
done
was less
worse.
than 5 minutes ago. You said You say I don't listen. I've been listening to you gaslight. I don't know what words you said,
Oh,
and
yeah,
acting like a Nazi.
gaslighting and
And acting like a
manipulating. I didn't
Nazi.
say Nazi.
All right, I got a second phone. I'm gonna mute and back it up to
Gaslighting
Yeah,
see
and
if
it's
I
in the
heard it.
manipulating.
transcripts. A lot of times you guys forget what the fuck you say and blab out of your mouth, just like Goblin threatening
Well,
children with little Tommy. No, here's the
okay.
funniest thing, Jack.
Now that's a
These
false
guys, no, Jack,
allegation, which has
everyone is
already
showing
been
that they
proven,
care
and the
about
receipts
you.
are on my channel if anyone wants to check it
Goblin,
out.
shut up, you
Very
cupcake.
simple, okay? But
Everyone,
I'm not here to
Jack,
promote me. But what I will
fuck you,
say is
Gob.
I notice
Oh, you're
that
here to promote
Snafu,
you?
you tend to become
I get it. The
consumed by your
cupcakes are
own
coming out.
consumption, and you're becoming what you're claiming that you don't agree with.
Amen.
Okay,
My
Goblin,
opinion.
go
Go ahead. I
be
yield.
introduced here some more. Go do your thing, you little
Hey,
triggered
Snafu,
cupcake
you're
son
not
bitch boy.
listening again. What you're accusing me
It's
of
not
not
listening.
listening,
No,
it
what
is
was the first thing you asked
exactly
Joe Cool?
you.
You said, Joe Cool, are you talking to me?
I was wrong,
That shows
Jack.
right
You
there
didn't
you
call
weren't
him
listening to even Joe
a
Cool right
Nazi,
there.
Jack.
And
You didn't.
we just got in the conversation
Thank
about
you,
not
Joe.
listening.
So now
You didn't
correct
call him. You
Snafu
didn't call him
that
a
I did
Nazi.
not. Please correct
You.
him too.
Yeah, I
Thank you,
didn't
Yeah,
hear
Joe.
him.
I
I
get
didn't hear
Thank
him. I
you.
corrected
had
all
the
the time.
headphones
Why are
out.
you
What he
triggered?
said was
Like, why I get
about.
corrected all the time? Why are you a
Yeah.
little cupcake triggered fucking Me Too victim when you get triggered?
This is why they will never listen to any of you at the UN. I yield.
I would never go to the UN. They're part of the B system. They're sellouts. They're traitors. They're
I'm
fucking
writing
elite.
the UN right now.
I would
because
never be
they
part
struck
of
my
that.
channel. And when they struck my channel for medical misinformation in regards to Bayer and their being the largest seed producer in the world now, Bayer, a pharmaceutical, the largest seed producer. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Wonder where
And
that's
so I
going.
went to the UN's World Food Program, and I'm writing them and the Joint Chiefs of Staff because the World Food Program is listed under the telecommunications. And this device that I'm on that they're restricting is telecommunications device. So obviously, yeah, I'm supposed to go to the World Food Program at the UN.
It's weird.
If you learn the processes and who takes authority over things, you know who to write. I yield.
You know, the reason the World Health Organization and others are getting involved with these Pogo YouTube apps and stuff, remember, journalists are being arrested around the world and have been, and especially in Canada. People are mispronouncing genders and being arrested and thrown in prisons and jails and speeches being. And Jack, you're doing the exact same thing. That's why I respect panels like Paul's and others who actually fucking say fuck it. You know, they fuck around in Nazi block and booty, but they're not like that. They're not like Ian China or you. You guys are showing dictator optics. You're showing like it's my way or the highway. You and Jack, all these guys are saying is one, put in some work, and two, quit being a dick and listen, man. You want us all to listen to you.
Right.
And
There's
then
no
here's
harm
Venus
in that
Cupcake
shit.
who calls cops for people because public records on a public platform, right, Donna, are illegal. These cupcakes are dangerous fucktards to society. Venus Cupcake and all you granny panties and goblin simp ass men who are bitches like goblin. Man, what? It's a
Hey,
programming.
talk is cheap,
It's the
brother. And,
programming.
and
You are
and
a
we all have
program
two ears and
fucktard,
one
dude.
mouth. And
You
there
are
you
a
go looping
program
again.
fucktard. Hey, Venus with penis, why don't you come up on the panel? You crazy granny panty Karen. Well, you introduced the granny. Put your underwear on your head, though.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
You still there?
I'm muting my neighbor's dogs are barking. I'm still here.
Well, hey, thank you. I'd like to point out something to you because I tried to rebut some of Snafu's claims that he was saying I don't listen and I'm always pushing my beliefs. Well, I was sitting here silently, not reacting, just allowing him to go on. Now, when I addressed that to him, that dude, your claim, you're describing you in this moment. Well, then you brought in the thing, it came up with the Nazi thing, and you were on the side of Snafu.
Well, Snafu said it. Wait.
Let me come back.
Okay.
To the point is you also confirmed the claim that I don't listen. You've made that claim to me in the past.
I believe that. Yeah.
Didn't Tribe and others on this panel
Wait.
and in the chat say the same thing, though?
Only
Like,
on certain times and shit,
let's not
Jack.
look at
When
the
you're
optics, Jack.
triggered and with
Not just
certain
Joe
people,
Cool said you
when
don't
we're
listen.
having a normal conversation, you're listening as much as everyone else. But when an enemy or a perceived adversary comes up, or you're in a mood about something, the listening goes out the window. Like now.
Like now?
Yeah, like now when Wizard pops up, anything comes out of Wizard mouth, you don't listen to. I don't give a fuck how wise it is, you won't hear it. You and Trav are confrontational right now. He dropping jewels. Even Snafu is kicking in. I didn't even know he had this fucking side to him. You're not listening to them cats. You're just instinctively battling them.
Joe,
the optics are high. The optics are high.
I won't deny that, but let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think they are listening to me?
Absolutely
Because
not. I didn't consider that.
okay,
But
all right.
wait. I only considered Snafu so far. Snafu is not. He's not hearing nothing that's coming out of your mouth. Clearly, Tribe is, and I would
Joe
think
Cool.
Wizard is
Joe
listening
Cool.
to you.
Let me say I am Joe Cool. I am listening what's coming out of his mouth. I just think it's a bunch of bullshit, blasphemy, bullshit, egotistical, narcissistic,
That's what he hears
and
because
dreamer.
that's
He's
what
a
he's
dreamer.
convinced
It
Jack
himself to
Talking's
shows.
a
It
believe.
dreamer.
shows. It shows. But you see, Wizard ain't been acting crazy with you like he normally has, and
Yeah.
fucking Trav has been an absolute. I was watching in your room a long time ago. Dude's been giving you the cures to your symptoms directly, telling you how it is, how to treat what's wrong, and how to respond to this and that. And
Joe,
you're not hearing him either.
well, here, Joe, I if you understood what me, like I understand me, what you would see Tribe doing is gaslighting and manipulation, he's built in his mind a version of me
So now you're
and
gonna
presenting
cupcake
the
it and
case.
use weaponizing
Okay, I guess
fucking
I don't
tactics
get to
like a
speak.
fucking triggered man who's fucking so harassed and triggered. You're gonna say they're weaponizing and harassing and targeting, and I'm a cupcake me too man victim bitch. Jack,
Jack,
that's Ian, China,
Jack,
and Venus Cupcake. That's fucking programming bullshit, dude.
and
Let me
Jack,
respond
and
really quick.
real quick.
I just want to say this. I've argued with Snafu passionately. I've argued with Wizard passionately, with Joe Cool passionately.
With me,
I have the
passionately.
utmost respect for these men. You understand? I've changed.
Right,
They've
you
changed because of me.
withhold
It goes
respect from
reciprocal.
me, not Tribe. That's the point. You
But
have
don't.
no
You don't. You
respect
take
for
everything
me,
so
and
damn
that is
personal.
your
You're a grudge
fucking
holder.
problem.
Jack, you're a grudge holder. Let's face it. You hold
No,
grudges.
I'm not.
I hate nobody.
Okay,
Bullshit.
when it
I
comes to
hate
you, Jack,
nobody. I dislike a lot of things.
That's
Very
your
passionately.
problem.
I hate no
when it
one.
comes
That's your
But I
problem.
hate nobody.
when it
Well,
comes
who
to you,
cares?
Jack,
Not even the animals, really.
It
when it
doesn't
comes
change. You show me no respect.
when it comes to you, Jack,
Yeah.
I want to tell you, the story I hear from you, the thing that you want the most is to talk to your son. And with that emotional content, I wish I could speak to my son. I yield.
You almost
What's
broke my
preventing
heart
you?
there,
Is there
motherfucker.
any way
You know
I
what,
can
Jack?
help
I see
you?
Wizard come in here a lot with respect, more than anyone, because you and him beef it out a lot. I
Well,
remember
hold
when
on
he
a
said
minute.
I remember when he said he would
Hold
come
on a
visit you.
minute. Can you
No, I
stop
remember when he
thinking
said
of
he would come
yourself
visit
for
you,
one
and
fucking
you said,
moment,
"Hey,
snafu?
at first you were cool, and then you took
Nope,
it
you
back, and
can't.
maybe for you long."
You
Dude,
can't
I
stop
see Wizard
thinking of
coming in and
yourself,
respecting
can
you
you?
all the time, and you fucking always just. And I get you guys have your beef, but just like I said, I go out at Joe Cool. I go out at all these fucktards. Even this little goblin simp bitch next to me, Venus Cupcakes titties. But you, like Jack, grow a pair. You're victimizing.
But
You're turning words into
all you're doing is
weaponizing
telling
words.
another man how to
Goblins
live
like
his life,
you,
and
so he's gonna start yelling
instead
like
of
a little
making
bitch.
him question his
But dude, like
reality.
Jack, real
The way
recognize
you're
real. You're being
addressing
like
what you're
totally
doing, you're
Wait,
making
snowflake
no
let's
here.
hear the
effort
guy
like
on the
that.
top right.
Talking all
I
that
ain't heard him
shit,
say a
dude.
word. Oh, that's what's his name? I can't think of his name. The guy on the right, but I ain't heard him talk a lot.
Yeah, him and little meth head Tommy running around threatening children, doing their little thing. Yep.
And the proof that what he's saying is a fucking lie is right there on my channel. How many times do I gotta keep saying it because you want to loop? Everyone has 2 ears and 1 mouth. What the fuck? How hard is it to fucking listen? Let's go.
Jack, the question's still unanswered. What are you doing to improve your value enough that you have enough to give to others? You can't give more than you are worth yourself. What have you done to improve your value other than regurgitation of other words to make it worthy of you to tell others what they should do or to lead them?
I'm not telling anyone to do anything. I'm sitting here
No.
quietly listening.
He asked you the first part of it. You must improve your value for people to hear you. That was Wes's thing in that big long statement he gave.
Right, I know.
And he's saying that people only hear your message as much as they see how much you love yourself by the improvement you have in yourself. And his first part of the question was, what are you doing to improve yourself so those people can hear your message?
I've answered this question fucking over and over on this panel and my panel. So his problem is his problem. I'm not here to push anything. I'm here to fucking hang out. So quit the interrogation and fucking change the subject. You
You
don't
see,
like
that,
me? Well, shut the fuck up.
that's anger and deflection. That's what we were just talking about. You didn't rebut the argument at all.
Right, Joe. Joe, who cares? You win. I'm done with your egoic fucking nonsense. Bullshit.
Who cares? I don't care. That's what every person says. But certainly my exes say that shit when you get them, corner them on something they said this week. I don't care what you think.
And that's exactly what you're going to tell the UN.
You guys, I want to know honestly, do you really believe 100 in your heart that you think Wizard doesn't respect you?
Wizard treats them like shit and does shit
No,
to
Wizard
him. I
treats
don't
them
know if
like
it
shit.
means he
I treat
doesn't
people like
respect.
shit, but no, respect. Like the man, literally, I was giving him a hard
He
time.
definitely
Both
respects him,
Tribe
yeah.
and Jack fucking both Tribe and Wizard fucking had your back here. You know, saying, "Hey, we respect you." This is the. And I'm sitting there like, "You cupcake, motherfucker," blah blah. You know, and literally, you are
I said,
throwing
you're right.
them under the bus. The guys who are giving you, I'm gonna be honest. I ain't giving you respect right now, Jack. And I respect you, but I don't. You know what's up. You acting like in China. You're not being honest with yourself. I would love to see you put action into some of the shit that you could easily do. Call the United Nations. Show everyone. Say, look what I did.
Right.
Do
Shouldn't
something,
one of
bro.
these days, and perhaps you do, you hop on and say, this is what I did today towards my
Hey,
UN
Joe,
goal, as opposed to talking about it.
Joe.
You mad at me for?
Did you already forget the fact? Maybe you didn't see it, Joe. Maybe you weren't there. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Did you not see my efforts or hear my efforts the last 2 days of trying to bring what is being shared here on the Paul Unslaved platform about common law, bringing that to people who I know in the labor movement?
No, but I
You
think that's a
remember
good
me
thing.
doing that?
I don't. I didn't hear nothing about that. No.
Okay, so you missed that. The last 2 days, I placed myself into very
So you talked to
uncomfortable
people
and
about a
toxic
YouTube channel and
positions.
said,
Oh
hey,
no,
go
no, no!
check
You
them
went
out.
up there to
So you
jab
talked to
those
people
guys
about
with a
Paul's
hot
YouTube
poker in
channel and
the
said, check
eye.
it
If
out.
that's what you're
That's what
talking
Graf
about.
Talcott
When
did
you went to
for the
that
Talcott.
conference, you knew you weren't welcome and weren't going to make progress, and you were going to be a stubborn little kid and stick yourself in front of their face. Anyway, you're not claiming that as the progress you've made or the good thing you did.
So see, Joe, once again, you don't find any good whatsoever from the efforts that I made. You're just
I would
baiting
never
this
say
out
that.
as some
No,
bullshit
I'm just because I'm
narcissistic.
talking about a particular moment doesn't mean I don't see the other shit. I'm just commenting on one moment, the yesterday thing. I see your
Okay, well,
values
Joe,
now.
the
Now it's not the
question,
time to coddle you.
the reason all of this shit is being discussed is because there's once again allegations, inferences being made. Jack, I don't respect you because you've not shown me the actions that I want. You haven't shown me the results that I've placed upon you yet.
Don't we all live with that, bro? Ain't nobody listening to me if I ain't
Joe,
got 8,000 subs.
Joe, here's the entire fucking point. People need to get past this bullshit egoic expectation of withholding respect and cooperation with each other.
You're correct.
Throwing Wizard, I see you nodding your head. Throwing anger at one another
Because you're the one that says you don't care.
Think.
Because you're the one that says you don't care. And in relation to John Vance's comment here a while back about how America has no morals.
Boom.
What you see here is before you is proof of that. Evidently, you don't comprehend what's going on then, because we have a panel of 10 people here, 9 of us, which are pretty much agreeable, that you agree that you don't care, and we are not connected because this is your world. Again, we are not of this world. We live in this world. And if this is Jack's world, Jack is that Satan evil, if that's the comment you want to stick with. Because this is not your world, Jack. This world is his world, Satan's world, which God created for Satan. And as a test to all of mankind who are conscripted just like the fallen angels and are not meant to sin. But he tested us by placing us in this world. We are not of this world. I yield, Jack. You are not.
Jack, if you go to UN, meetings and your body language is the way that you were acting right here with Wizard.
You are nothing here. And when it comes to this panel and that comment with John Vance saying America has no morals, that's what we're trying to help you with, Jack, is your morals. You sit there and say you don't care. while
Yeah, the
professing
wizard.
or putting out information and wanting us to help while you say you don't care. That is just stupid, Jack.
And here let me say this too, Wizard, to expound on that, because we
Yeah,
know the
keep
amount
going.
of effort that Wizard puts in to push what he's saying. There's meat behind what he's saying here, because he puts in hours and hours of broadcast
I
disseminating
was
how
up
the world
until
works.
3 o'clock
I
this
never
morning
see
writing the
this nigga
UN.
live. I never
Second
see
thing is
fucking
this.
Wizard.
Second thing is this, Jack, is that you said you did something on common law. So what? You do an open panel on common law. You did no exertion. You know, I've done over 50 hours on common law broadcasts sitting on my channel. You know what was inspired? It was inspired by a conversation here on this channel. Okay, Jack, that's what. So what have you done with common law that you've been inspired from here? You did one panel. Okay. Now, is that really the value of a leader?
Yes, Jack, let me answer that. Yes, that is exactly a motherfucker saying Jack has done nothing, and him making a step and doing a thing. Every journey begins with one step. I couldn't take nothing away from him going over there teaching something on law. You know, I'd be big up in him all day if I saw that shit.
You know, and the one thing I just got to mention is, Jack, your body language shows it all. The words out of you show it all. Even right now, when people are trying to just be real with you, you're sitting here in fuck you mode. I'm Talcott. You guys are fucking piece of shits. And yeah, Jack, your body language, bro. Like, is this how you're gonna act in United Nations meetings? If I ever hook you up on a meeting and they say, Jack, we can't work with you on this, are you gonna like throw your eyes and roll your back, and I'll never be able to get you in a meeting again because you fucking don't give a fuck about like
This is
Jack?
good shit, Jack. I know you hate it's coming from Snafu, and he might be throwing jabs in there with it, but this is good shit. If you can't handle it here, how well would you do it with the UN? You got to tame it here first. Blah blah blah.
Is that what you think? You
That
think
is
the time is
exactly
best
what I
served?
think. I don't think.
Well, here, let me paint what I'm seeing. You know, actually, that's irrelevant. Paul, are you here?
Of course he's here.
Well, I'd like to
Jack, but
address.
you guys stand on your own right now.
I kind of want to hear what you were about to say, Jack.
Shut up, Snafu, you slave. I'm the god of all media. I'm always here.
Well, and frankly, I'm sick of sitting here listening to what these cupcakes and asshats want to hear. So, Paul, earlier there was, I received a message or a comment, and I showed up, and you did say there you had some ideas for me that I wasn't sure where that was going. I pray to God that this wasn't it, because this is I got better things to do with my time.
Jack. This was definitely not it. It was just, a couple clips of video. One, at least we might have watched them already. I just wanted to share some time and space with you. And of course, it degenerated as always.
Yep.
Into whatever this is. But we passed the 2-hour mark. I was going to wrap up in 2 hours anyway. So, I just decided to let it play out since folks kind of, started having a conversation.
And, I appreciated the opportunity to try and have conversations, but the message has been clear today, Paul. They want me to listen, not speak. So I'm done fucking listening to this negativity and these false fucking narratives of who I supposedly am. So I'm going to continue with my day, and thank you, brother. I don't know if you go on. I don't know. Maybe I'll go on later or not. I don't know. I'm a clown, man. Fucking A. I love you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you, Jack. All right, well, then that's synchronistic because I was already thinking about I got to get the AC situation set up with this thing. It's not working the way that I think it's going to, so I got to figure out a remedy for that.
For your trail,
yeah.
So real quick, because here's another thing too, is that from this channel here, a lot about the self-sufficiency, and even if you don't need to, the more you learn about this stuff. Being in Florida, we have to deal with hurricanes frequently, so we have to deal without the conveniences of power and water sometimes, and I've been through it. So it's a preparation that we just basically have. But more I learn about adapting when you go through the so-called drills of testing your apparatus out. You start to learn just things of efficiency that save you money in general. So it's just more wealth from that attitude. That being said, low voltage start for the air conditioner is real important if you're using any of that solar stuff. And it's more modern stuff. It's not going to cost you much more, but it'll be a feature listed.
Low voltage start.
Yeah, low voltage. So it'll deal with the inductive start, which draws a lot just to start it up, but it's designed to deal with that.
That's brilliant. Yes.
Yeah, so and it makes it key. So like you can get a room air conditioner, not even $200, and it'd probably chill the hell out of that. That's made for that. Just find one that's modern, specified for it. I don't like them with the Bluetooth and all that garbage, just because it's more to go wrong. But I've been camping with an AC for over 20 years. The same AC. I've only repaired it once, and it's just an on and off switch. And I have adapted duct work for it that goes to 210. So I used to camp with family or another family. And I mean, it chills the hell out of it.
Are you
little room
telling me
AC.
you can run AC totally off of solar power? I didn't know if that was a thing. And now I got buddies that do the van life and solar panels and shit.
A lot of
You
people
can
even
do
use
that?
old car radiators and shit, you know.
I have
They
the window
fit.
unit. It doesn't fit in the window, so I got to try to get a portable one that's low enough wattage to get that little attachment to go in the horizontal window.
Yeah,
I see guys use car radiators too with the solar panels like out in the heat, and they work just as good as
There's
air
one in
conditioning.
this thing, right? But it's probably about 3,000 watts, and I don't need all that.
You know what you need to do? You need to, when you're off of this stuff, you need to spend a little more time on the YouTube. There's some people out there that are really doing it good, and they get, not too technical, but enough for you to get the understanding of how to choose for yourself and design it yourself, simply. Because it's not that hard
Check with
nowadays.
Julie and her brother.
What's that?
Check with Julie and her brother. She just got back home.
Lots of resources. You got my email, I think, Paul, too, if you needed any questions with that. But yeah, I mean, I do it. I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm doing more of it. And I like the idea of it because the technology is so accessible now. You have to be a nerd to figure it out. So
And it's in the right direction too, right? This
Dude,
can
it doesn't
only
even.
help.
I don't even think it's going to matter about the startup because I have panels. As long as I have enough panels, I could generate whatever I need, presuming the sun is there. So if the sun is there, I can generate whatever I need.
I was wondering, was that possible, man? I thought AC alone. I don't know how effective the panels are nowadays.
It's the draw on the inductive. When you start up an inductive load, it draws a lot. It just, trust me, if you get the circuitry for it, it's more efficient. So it just works. It's just more designed for it. It's not more expensive. You just have to choose the right one. That's all. Because they got a lot of garbage sitting in warehouses for years. It doesn't go bad. So they'll sell off their old garbage, but they got new garbage because there's always competitors, right? That's the nature of it. So if the educated consumer, would figure out that you pay the same and you get a lot better, like with a lot of things, I guess. In the end, you don't get everything you pay for, but you got to pay for everything you get. So make sure you know what you're paying for.
I hear what you're saying,
Hey,
man.
Paul, you guys have a good day, man.
All right, I'm out of here
Everyone
too,
take care, man. Good stream as always, man. Good conversations to hear. And all you fucking cupcakes, you better start listening, man. Time is going by fast. And the optics are high. And they're only going to ramp up, man. And all everything, metaverse, real life, spiritual, physical, you name it. So much love, everyone. Thanks, Paul.
All right, we'll see you later, Snaps. All right, Tribe, get the hell out of here because you'll keep us here for another hour.
Yeah, I was going to go into a soliloquy now. Hey, happy Easter to everyone that wants to, acknowledge that.
Whatever.
I'll just say it, get it out of the way. And at that, I had a great time here, Paul. Enjoy it. It was nice. You get Wes in. I finally got my Wes fix. I don't know if you did it yesterday or not, but I wasn't around the whole time, so I won't even acknowledge if you didn't. I got it today, so I feel satisfied. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone in panel. Salute.
Thank you, sir. All right. Go ahead. Let's get the hell out of here. I got to go figure out. I got to take this fucking thing back and figure out the next set of issues.
All right. Well, like I said earlier, they struck my channel for medical misinformation on a review I did on a short video from Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and an article relative to Bayer and they being the largest seed producer. And so I'm currently writing a letter to the UN, Jack, about that, because like I said, it has to do with the food products and the seeds and all that. And so I'm writing to the World Food Program under the telecommunications thing, because I'm using a telecommunication device to spread free education, and they're blocking the free education and saying that I'm spreading misinformation, even though it was a review on information that's already in the public. So I'm writing to the UN as we speak, just about done with it. And like I said, I'll post it when I get ready to. I've got to make sure they get it first, and then I can post it. But in the meantime, Jack, hopefully everybody will see how you properly communicate with the UN. I yield. Have a good day, guys. Thanks
you,
again, Paul.
Thank you, sir. All right, Rasta, you got anything? All right, I'm going to take care of my busyness. I'll be back later tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow morning, as always. 7 days a week, still with no end in sight. So yeah, look for that unless otherwise given notice. So stay inspired, stay co-creative, stay loving and faithful, unwavering in truth, and be all you can be, as the military folks say, right? Be all that you can be, as far as embodying conscience. So I'm out of here. I'll be back. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Much love.